was like, I want to take a little bit of a different direction because I went from a lot of people don't know this. I started out as a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Like at heart, I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
And I loved what I do, but I wanted to try something new. So I started singing, and it was more of like a rap with some pop in it for the album. And then when I switched to What You Say, I was like, let's do a full pop. Let's see if I can make this work. And it did. It worked really well. And that was about when I found you guys. So coming into the new year, I was going through Twitch and I was looking at just looking at music streamers and just streamers in general. I was like, I want more people to watch, more people to interact with. And in scrolling through Twitch, I met Evan Cassidy, who was the feature on Broken.
Mm-hmm.
And we hit it off. We did it was nice. It was nice to meet somebody who cared about music as much as I did. And then a couple days later, after I had been talking to Evan, I had scrolled across Prominent stream. And I sat there for I'd say probably about half an hour. I sat there just listening and lurking. And I was like, I was getting lost. I was like, this is a good place. And then like half an hour later, I was like, oh shit, I should probably say hey.
Yeah.
And then I joined the Discord, and then I met you, Eyes, and then it went from there.
Yeah.
And then I put out What You Say, because you had a huge hand in What You Say being as good as it was.
Oh, just with some of the little tips and stuff.
Yeah, it was like
Okay.
I mixed it how I normally mix it, and then you came across and you were like, try this, and then I started experimenting. I was like, oh, okay.
That's kind of how it was for me too. Like when it comes to Eyes, like he taught me a lot of new stuff when it comes to producing as well, and it really helped. And like after that, it helped me with like releasing like Dr. PC and stuff like that, and
yeah, we helped
me
do
with like
some
working a
vocals
lot of
on
like
that
modern
too,
songs,
didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. And on Love at First Sight as well.
Yeah, that was the one. That's right. Yep.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
at First Sight. I kind of want to go back, Joltz, if it's not too personal, and kind of just hit on the heavy topic of you seem to be pretty lost and damaged in 2022. What was that process of starting to understand that, and really, how can you help people who might be going through the same thing be able to stop and reflect on that and make a change that they want in their life? Or is that too personal?
No, I don't think it's personal.
Is it all a blur? Is it, do you remember that moment of clarity where you had kind of realized that you could be doing a lot better?
I had a few moments of clarity. Back in like early 2022. I'm gonna say this, and the story should explain itself, and if it doesn't, maintain your innocence. I played a lot of VR chat, and I knew a lot of people that played VR chat. If you know, you know. So
I don't
that's
know.
where that
That's
came
my innocence.
From. Good.
I'll stay off the internet.
That is something that that's something that I would explain way off. Like this is like
yeah.
like on like a private call or something. I'd have to walk you through.
We don't
But like if you know, you know. So I was going through it a lot there, and that's when I had met my now ex. Not ex at the time. And I was just going with the flow of everything he said I went with, and it didn't really click to me that something was wrong until I got into a Discord call. I was in my server, and I had said something about something my ex had done, and then one of my friends looked at me and he just said, "But are you really okay with that?" And I was like, "No, I am not." And then it hit me, and then I couldn't stand the thought of him after.
So what gave you the courage to stand up and say something if you don't want to hurt this person the whole time? Because a lot of people deal with that.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. When I sat down, so like I'm somebody, I will tell you how it is. I'm not one of these people that'll tell you like I'm gonna be blunt about it and I'm just rude to be rude. I'm one of those people that like I will tell you how I'm feeling, and I don't care how upset you get because you were treating me wrong. I will tell you that you're wrong till day's end because you're wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and tell everybody, oh, well, you know, you hurt me, but it's okay because I know you hurt me. And whether it was intentional or not, you fucking hurt me.
It's okay. Like, what?
No, it's not okay. It's never been.
No,
okay.
It's not.
So it was finally like, I finally snapped out of it and under like whatever fucking spell I was under. And I snapped out of it and I said, this is just not okay. And I just like, I started writing because when I was with him, I didn't write a single song. That's not true. I wrote Clown. That is the only song that I wrote while we were together. And that was total overall, I think, was a good 9 months. Because the
Jeez.
time we had met was right around the time I went like crazy stupid viral on TikTok. So I had been getting like numbers coming from everywhere, and there was just so much on my plate at the time. And then God, I wish I hadn't stopped all of my creative processes for that person.
But it kind of takes going through that to understand how valuable your creative processes are. To understand how valuable you as a person are yourself. And I think too often people are afraid to take chances and understand that they have an inherent value. They just have to find it within themselves.
I say it all the time.
It's not easy to find either. It doesn't happen overnight for sure.
Right.
And it doesn't come easily. I think everybody thinks it's supposed to be easy. You have to stand up and fight. You have to be courageous, and you have to let other people down, even if you care about them.
So I've gone through a lot the last 2 years or so. Starting with not even starting with all of that. I've just gone through a lot in my lifetime, and it's just, I don't know. Just like when I talk about it, everybody's like, "Well, don't you wish you wouldn't have stayed?" Like when we were talking about my ex, they were like, "You should have left a long time ago," and I was like, "I should have," but staying gave me the understanding that something was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And had I not stayed, I would have, like, had I left like a month or so in, when I noticed like the first red flag, none of what happened would have happened, and none of it would have taught me what I know.
Mm-hmm.
Like you wouldn't have been able to learn a lesson from it if you broke it off too quickly.
Everybody you learn, or everybody you meet in your life, is going to teach you something.
Regardless
whether you know this person, whether you pass this person, whether you're checking them out at the register, working retail, and you only see them once in your life, or it's somebody you've known your entire life, there's something to always learn. Like working retail is I've heard some really interesting stories and a lot of things that I've taken to heart that you gotta just do. You gotta take the chance. You learn everything from somebody. So everybody has something to teach you.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's not meant to be in your life, then they're either gonna hurt you or something's gonna happen. It's hard to tell, but everybody's gonna be able to teach you something.
Yeah.
Whether it's a personal lesson, whether it's a skill.
Well said.
And it's regardless of whether they hurt you or whether they are there for the long run, you know?
Yeah. And like I have friends that I don't talk to anymore that I've cut off well over a decade. Like I've known people since elementary school that I just don't talk to anymore. They've either hurt me or they just don't fit the mold anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's fine. I know that
to a different person, you're growing at the end of the
day. I know that I've outgrown other people to the point where they don't want to be friends anymore. They don't want to work with me anymore. And I've watched people grow into people that, whether you're proud of you or not, that's, you got to make that decision. But not everybody has to stay in your life. Like I'm so good at cutting people off. I stopped talking to myself once. I went like a whole week without talking to myself. I didn't say a word. I got up, went to work, and left. I came home and laid down. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's just you gotta pick your battles too. Like, and that's what reflection was really taught me was, if I can walk away from this abusive relationship, then I can walk away from anything. And that I may not have a lot of, like, I'm somebody that you'll meet that has like zero confidence in myself. I have like zero self-confidence, but I will not let you treat me like that. Just because I don't see it in me doesn't mean that you can't see that in me.
But by observation, you seem to have a fair amount of self-confidence, and it feels.
That's what I was just thinking too. I was like, you over here
for comedic effect, you dumb it down, like self-deprecation, like we all do. You know what I mean?
I have a very strong mask.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
I'm very good at showing it because I know it's there, but that's a lot of internal work and shadow work that I have to do on myself to really understand it myself.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Sleep Token song. It's called "Do You Wish That You Loved Me?" And when I hear it, all I can imagine is singing it to yourself in a mirror. And that's actually what this means. This is the ruins of "Do You Wish That You Loved Me?"
Mm-hmm.
And all through the song, he says, "Smile back at me. Do you wish that you loved me?" And it's like every time I hear it, something clicks, and I go, "Wait a minute, you should know that." This isn't something we should be visiting. This is something that should just be here. So it's a long process. And like, I've gotten really good at like, I understand that I should love myself, but it's hard to do that.
Right.
Especially with a wounded inner child. I always say it. I have two voices in my head. I have my wounded inner child that is just trying to heal and I just doing his best. And then there's the protector that has to step in and say, okay, but this can't happen. Like, and it's hard too because your inner child can't win all the time either.
Oh no, it's not supposed
that
to.
that is just as self-destructive as it gets. So balancing the two, like I've been letting my inner child win recently because it's Halloween time now. So I've been buying like Halloween things. But at the same
Even though it's
time,
not even September
I
yet.
understand that there's the voice of the protector that's like, all right, come on, we gotta stop
the
here.
inner child the
No.
one who is more impulsive decisions and procrastinating
Yes.
on work and stuff like that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The inner child, the inner child for me is the one that wants to have calm and peace and quiet and just relaxing. And you can't always let that win because then you're never going to get anything done.
Mhm.
You're always going to sit there just in a constant loop of nothing getting done, you know, eating whatever's in front of you just because it looks good, you know. There's got to be that balance.
There's got to be discipline.
And that's what like going to the gym has taught me. And
Mhm.
like learning as much as I have about gym and personal training and nutrition and all that, like that has all taught me to balance myself, and I've gotten pretty good at it. So when it comes to like myself behind closed doors, I have a really healthy relationship with myself. It's when I start to reach outwards and deal with other people, because I was isolated a lot when I was younger. Like there wasn't a lot of like outwards contact. I was very kept to myself. I didn't really talk to like even my family. It was rare that I had a conversation, anything deep with anybody.
Yeah.
So like isolating with myself, I have this deep understanding with my inner child that like it's going to be okay. It's okay to take a lazy day. It's okay to not work today. It's okay to just play a video game.
Oh yeah, every now and
But
again.
when I'm with other people is where I struggle to keep that balance in line. And that's where my work needs to come from next is being more sociable, being more out there. I have a terrible habit of just cutting people off because they just don't fit. Like I don't know.
Is
It's
it like a
definitely
certain type of
something.
people that you try to keep within your circle, like a certain type of people that feel like they need to fit for you or whatever?
I wouldn't say
Or
a
I guess I'm
certain
trying to
type
ask,
of
like,
people.
is it turn like a did you like put yourself to a higher standard of people that feel like you need to fit your mold or whatever?
I feel like that the people that I need to surround myself with need to be real with themselves. I feel like that you
I
have to
feel that.
understand somebody that understands that they're not always right. Someone that understands that they need to take criticism around me. Like I think it sounds like really selfish, but at the same time, I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. Don't ask me for an opinion if you can't handle my opinion, and don't expect to stay around me if when I give you my, especially an opinion, if you're going to get butthurt when I give you an opinion.
Mhm.
Like music, I am very like, especially now that I know what I know, I'm very, very, very talkative about music. I will sit here and tell, like, I work with an artist, and he's not great. And he's so, it's a pain in the ass. I have been telling him for years, come on, we got to learn. We got to get better. And like my music has evolved. If I sent you the first track I ever made versus Self-Destruct, you would hear a clear
Yeah,
difference.
very
Very
different.
clear difference. But this person was like started in 2019 and sounds like they're still in 2019. No matter how much
So he's
I've
kind of like
showed them.
plateaued in a way. He
Yeah,
doesn't want to like try to get better.
I wouldn't even say plateaued because that would mean that you've had to go up for that.
Yeah, he's gone
I
up to
don't
that point in 2019,
I
and
don't
like that
think
was
I don't
it.
think I don't think that there
Like
was
he's
any
reached his
growth there.
plateau.
There was no plateau. The fucker
Go
didn't
up
even
for
get on the
that.
mountain. He's still on the ground.
Exactly. That's what it's still a
He was still
plateau though. It's like a
climbing.
small plateau.
There's such a
Well,
there's
let's
such
say
a
like he got to
fucking,
the top
like,
of the stairs. Then how about that?
he looked at the stairs. Homie had an escalator and didn't take it. Like, you got to be real with yourself. You have to tell yourself, hey, I'm not right. Hey, I have a lot to learn. It's why I don't like God, and I wish everybody in this community of people eyes you too, because you do this all the time. You're like, I hope you don't take what I say, to heart. Like you're not offended by it. I asked for your opinion. That's what you thought. Tell me what you
He
think.
does. I do that. I'm not even gonna. But it's
Fucking
understandable
Soundbites
why.
does that too, and he's
I
like,
think
"Well, don't
it's,
take it the wrong way." I'm like, "No, tell me what you're thinking so I can fix it. If you think that it's better and I try it and I don't think it's better, then I'll tell you I don't like because I did that for What You Say. I think you said you had suggested something, and I said no, I like it better without it. But there was a lot of things that you had thrown at me that you had said this would sound good, and it did.
Okay.
Like, and if you can't take criticism, especially when you ask for feedback,
especially if you're a musician,
you do not belong in music.
Yeah, you
At
gotta be able
all.
to take feedback if you're a musician. Otherwise, then
You
you're
got
not
to be
gonna
able to
get
take
anywhere at all.
feedback consensually and otherwise.
there's this old
If you
artist
cannot
that I
take
used to
criticism,
follow.
you can't. Just
There's-
it's so bad that I see people all the time. They're like, "What do you mean you don't like my song?" First of all, your song sucked. I can't even get to the
What
point.
do you mean you don't
I
like
can't
my
even
song?
Moon, I'm telling you, it may sound harsh, but that's the kind of person that I am. I will tell you if something's bad, but I will not approach you. And if Prominent sends me something, and it's like slightly off key, or there's a sound is off, I'm not gonna look at him and go, "Bro, you fucking suck. What was that?" I'm just gonna say, like, "Yo, that was
Like it sounds a little off
was
key.
like-
there was-
yeah, a
okay,
little-
like,
But
yeah,
there
a
was
little off
also
on
an
that."
inclination that one time you sent me something just like a month ago, maybe. I was like, oh, I do like the verse. I would try a little bit more high notes and doing more dynamic range in your vocal run. And you were like, yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'll try that. And next thing I know, you did, and it sounded really good. So it's proven that you take ideas.
Was it
you take the
Hiding Scar?
criticism well.
Yeah, there's hiding scars.
Because that's kind of the mix of both. Was when I sent you the first verse of Hiding Scars, and you said you should vary your
Mhm.
notes, and I said no. I was very stern about it. I said no, I don't think so, because that's verse 1. I want verse 1 to sound a certain way. But for verse
Oh,
3, I
okay.
had already thought about that.
Okay.
So I'm like, you're right, but not for this verse.
Okay.
So like I took what you said and I used it, just not where, and it's like, I told you what I was thinking. We had a discussion about it, and I told you like what I was doing was that I was going to do that just later on in the song. And we had been talking about that as I was writing. I was getting ready to record the rough for verse 3.
Did my verse screw up your ideas at first? Because I did my verse before you started writing. You kind of had a concept in your head, and I threw something in there, and I was like, I wonder if that just.
So I had part of a concept, and realistically, the only concept I had was the hook.
Mm-hmm.
I had the hook of the song, like I knew what it wanted to sound like, and the more I think about it, the more I want to change it. But I don't think that I've gotten that far yet.
It's pretty good song. I mean, I feel like a little bit could be changed up on the production, but I'm kind of seeing what you want to do with that.
Yeah, but where's it? I mean, I'm still at the rough vocal stage. I haven't recorded anything seriously for it. We haven't come up with because we still have to mix the beat back to the new layout.
Yep.
There's a lot of work that still needs done, so there's a lot of room for that. But no, you didn't throw me off at all. Actually, what you did was, I mean, going back to Broken with Evan, it really pushed me to do better, because I could have written a verse the way that I always write. I could have written and performed it the way that I always write it, and that could have been the end of that. But your verse felt so much more powerful that I needed to match that. In my own way. I needed to come forward and make my verse my way, but to make it just as good as what you did to it.
Fair. Yeah.
So I'm more so like,
understandable.
I took your verse and I kind of modeled my verses around it, and then I really liked where it came from, and it kind of helped me get more emotion out of it too. That I was able to like take what you wrote and dig down deep and really find it. And I think that's what I have trouble with creatively, is I have a lot of trouble finding the emotion to put into the songs. Because a lot of if you listen to Reflections, you can hear it. You can hear it in the songs that I put emotion into and the songs that I just wrote.
So what's your go-to method then? Like when you're writing something emotional, how does it do it? Because I have a process and I can tell you what it is, but I'm curious as to what yours is.
My process is different every time I write a song.
Mm-hmm.
I never.
There's no like certain type of like template or anything like that you follow.
Mm-mm. Nope. So what I'll do is I'll either be screwing around and making a beat and then go, I can work with this. So if I make if I come up with a melody and then I'll sing along to the melody, I'll throw my vocal train on it. I'll turn the auto tune all the way down. I'll find my key. So if I make the beat or I sing it first, I find my key, I turn auto tune on, and I turn all my knobs all the way down. So it's very rough auto tune, so I can hear the notes, because music theory is not at all my strong suit. That is the weakest part of me as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
So like writing in keys is hard as hell.
Interesting.
So I'll either record it and use a key. Now I can hear it. I can hear that a key is off.
Yep.
If I'm singing, I can definitely hear, hey, this is off.
Yeah, you definitely have that. You definitely have that.
So, and that works to my advantage there, because then I could just record something, put my little key detector on there, throw the auto tune on it, make sure it's right, and then start to work with it. So I'll either take the key from whatever I'm using to make the beat with, or the vocal sample that I recorded, and then I'll go from there. And then I just kind of start writing. But there are times that I'm at work and I'll pick my phone up and I'll record a little voice note, and then later on I'll come back to it. But my process is just so like, I always thought that I was weird that I never had a process. That like sometimes I'll start with a beat and I'll write the hook. Sometimes I'll just write a verse.
When it came
Come up with the name of the
to
song and then make the hook later.
yeah, sometimes a song title. Just I think of a song title and then I can kind of just get an idea of what I'm hearing from
I
the
have a
song
whole
title.
list of song titles that I want to do.
See, it's hard for me to think of a song title. I
Chris-
gotta think of like a
I
scene
take
from being
anything,
away.
dude. Chris Perkins called me Lily the Artichoke, and I was like, that's a sick song name. And I started conceptualizing an idea out of it. I was like, that's a good song name.
Lily the artichoke.
Yeah.
I'm not popping pills.
See, that's
I'm just
different for
having
me. I
lime
can't
time.
conceptualize an idea from
promise this
hearing the
can't.
phrase "Lily the artichoke." Like, that's you. I can't do that though. Like for me, I gotta like visualize like a scene in my head. Like kind of
Let me
set
pull
a
up
scene.
my little notepad here. Like Empty. Let me tell you what, I wrote the entirety of Empty because I forgot to get gas that day.
No, but you know what's funny? I have a song called Empty Fuel, and you had the same exact
way.
album cover art as I did. The fuel gauge.
Really?
The exact same
Oh,
thing.
plagiarism! What? No, I'm just kidding.
I wrote it last maybe October, November, and it's due to be released sometime soon. I don't really want to give too much information about it, but
yeah. So I left work and I just been forgetting to get gas. My anxiety doesn't let me get gas after work because I hate all of the gas stations around me because they're always busy as hell when I get off of work.
Yeah.
And I don't like leaving the house just to get gas. The only one that I would go to in the middle of the day is that way, and I work that way. So
Oh God.
And then I left work and I was like, all right, I gotta go. I don't have a choice. And then my fuel gauge turned red and I was like, what if I made a song about, I said, empty. I can make a song about feeling empty, or somebody that it ended up being somebody that makes me feel empty, and then in turn making myself feel empty, which is the song that I showed y'all before stream. And then I said, what if I turn that into a concept? I got out of my car. So I got into my car and I went like this. Click. All right, let's go home. I got my gas and I dipped. And I came home and I think that was the night I streamed and I came up with the album cover. And then I said, I have an idea. And I grabbed an old beat that I had been working on and I just wrote. I came up with an idea for a harmony and a melody and put those together, built the beat around it, and said, I want to do 3 verses because I haven't rapped in a while and this is more rap than anything. And then throw it in there. And then I wrote all 3 verses. I wrote all 3 verses, I think, in the span of 15 minutes.
Okay.
I was cooking that night.
Sometimes that's almost how one of mine went. I was out playing pool, heard a song that I really liked, and then I was like, I got inspired to write a song off of it, and then within 24 hours, it was pretty much done. It was the one that you really liked, Yoltz.
Which one?
It was a long time ago that you heard it. You heard it on Soundbites stream. It was a slower one. I see falsetto.
Yeah. Oh my god. I can't wait for that one.
That'll be on a dual EP called, or a dual track EP called Survive. But that's
Nice.
that's in the future.
Do you wanna? I wanna hit y'all with my proudest music moment. So back when I was rapping, I want to say this was 2021. Nate, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know he's in chat. He's watching. Nate is so I met Nate back in like 2019, 2020, and I met his brother at a concert, his brother and his mother, and we all hit it off from there. Like that was just like immediate. Like, as soon as we had met, and then we found out that Anthony's brother does music, and just from there, like from that show, and I started talking to them a lot more after, and just not only did we hit it off, but I learned a lot as an artist. And I came up and I said, I want to work on music. I want to sit down and I want to work on something. And Anthony goes, bet, I got a beat for you. Here you go. Here's a verse. Go ahead, write it. We sat there and listened to the loop of the verse for probably about 45 minutes. Took me 5 minutes to write that verse, and it was in Spanish. Half of it was in Spanish.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which is weird because I didn't know a lot of Spanish at the time. I was doing a lot of like translating and mental math for my grammar, and just it took me 5 minutes. And he's like, "Are you ready? Like, are you done?" And I was like, "I've been done. I don't know what you're waiting for."
I've been done.
That song, that is, if you go on my Spotify in the appears in tabs, that's Beast Up. I featured on Blue Wolf's track, and that was fucking. I'm so glad he got to release it. But and So I cannot wait to work more with them. I'm going up to see them hopefully soon. And I can't wait to see everybody.
I look forward to our meeting in person someday. It's just.
Oh yeah, I told
That's gonna be
y'all.
great.
I told you guys when I move, as soon as we're settled, the invite is on. But you two have to come together at the same time. We had a plan for you two to be here at the same time.
We can do a live podcast.
Yeah.
And some cookups, possibly.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's like inevitable. That has to happen. I mean,
I want to do.
if we don't do music together while we're hanging out, then what the fuck?
So my plan is I have my Yoltzin YouTube channel, which is the official artist channel, where all of the music gets distributed to, my music videos get posted to, and I want to do some like vlogging when I get to work with other artists or work in different like conditions and places.
So that'll go on the YouTube channel that you leaked to me.
No, none of it. So I want to do like a 24-hour challenge.
Oh, man.
I want to get the beat, write the verses, record it, and rough mix it. And I want to shoot a music video.
Okay.
All in 24 hours.
24 hours. I've seen it happen. I think we can do it.
The beat and the mixing, easy. The rough verse, easy enough. But the music video is the part where it's like, ooh, that's the extra mile right there. Because I can thankfully make a beat, and I could probably master a song in a day. Like record, mix, and master. The main thing about doing it that way is you have to really give yourself a break. That's part of what takes so long in some of my songs. I listen to it, mix it, master it, come back to that master later, multiple times with a fresh ear, month over month, so it really starts to sound more balanced.
Yeah, no, so like I mean, I guess we would come up with like a super rough version of the song, but it in the music video in 24 hours would be crazy.
Yeah.
But like a vlog like that would hit the Yoltzin channel and then the Father Gremlin channels for just like, if we did like a little like vlogged whatever else or something. Like I had spoken with another member of the community that streams about meeting up. That's where that would go. So
do we know
there's
this person?
You do know this person.
Oh,
I don't know what details I can share on the podcast yet because he's very busy, so we haven't gotten to talk about actually doing anything yet. But hopefully here in the next month or so, we'll be able to pin down at least an idea.
Okay, very cool.
But I'll tell you guys after stream, just to remind me, because I will forget.
I feel like you say very busy. I think I know whom you are referencing. I think I know exactly.
Yeah.
So
not 5.
Not 5.
One more.
6.
See.
I'll figure it out. I'm not catching the code. Right
anyway,
he said I'll figure it out. I did want to comment on what
you
couldn't remember said in I said his name wrong. I butchered his name, but I want to comment on what he said in the chat. He said the inner child thing made me think of my childhood. I used to be very open about my interests, but then I was made fun of for liking the things that I like, and that made me much more reserved. And I didn't really talk about my interests to anyone. Only in recent years I've been able to just not give a shit and just like the things I like, but I've surrounded myself with more people like me.
Yeah, she
And honestly, I can
is
agree with that
super-
1,000%.
She's
that is the
super
lesson
good
to
at
learn.
piano too. She plays piano. She does art. She's really good at the things that she
That's
does.
the lesson to learn. Surrounding yourself with people, not
That
and
like
like
the same things as you.
I don't even say like-minded people that like the same things, because I have a whole mix of friends that some of them don't like music, some of them don't do music, some of them only stream, some of them only make videos, some of them don't make anything.
Mm-hmm.
Surround yourself with people that support you. Don't surround yourself with like-minded people, because that will get you hurt. If I have to deal with one more artist in my fucking town that just sits around with a bunch of yes men, oh my god, I'm gonna
Oh
scream.
yeah. How many people I've dealt
This-
with that is so annoying
The
too.
the conversation I had with an artist around here, and I had said something. He sent me a track, and he asked me for feedback, and I said, "Dude, this isn't good." And he's like, "Really?" Because this producer said it was fucking fire. I said, "He's lying to you. He's lying to you because of what you bring to the table. You have a really a unique sound for the area we're in, and you bring a unique vibe to whatever music you're working on, but you're surrounding yourself by people that are only telling you, yeah, it's good, so you give them what they want, which is your streams, your advertisement
Money.
space, your promotion, your money, your all of that. That's how they see you. They don't
Wouldn't
see
that make
you as
sense
an
as to
artist.
why you should surround yourself with like-minded people as well? Because you can have people that are not like-minded, and those people can be really limited on their critique when it comes to the type of music that
Yes.
you make compared to somebody else.
But I think what sets me apart there is that if I take a song and I send it to Eyes, Eyes is going to give me a really, really, really deep understanding of if something's wrong. You, Eyes, and Sound Bites. I trust you three that if I send something to you, you're going to tell me what's wrong from a production standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
If something's
Right.
wrong lyrically, production. My partner don't know shit about making music. I trust him.
So he'll just be like,
with
"Oh,
Eyes.
it sounds good."
I trust the streamers that just listen to music, that put things in the background, that go, yeah, I had it in the background and it sounded fine. You have the people that listen deep into music, that like lyric watch,
Can
that'll
hear
pull the
everything
lyrics
in
up and
there,
read.
you know.
Yeah, but don't know
Can hear
anything
how
about
things are
music
supposed to come
production.
into certain parts of the song. You know, they know how to
I know
set the
people
mood for
that
certain
are
songs, all that stuff.
I know people that are so anal about music but have never produced or written a track in their life. So coming from all around, you can get a good idea from think about it this way. If I sent my track to you and that's the only feedback that I got, it's like listening to them through studio speakers, through studio
Right.
monitors. You're going to get a good answer whether it's good or not. How good does it sound in my car? How good does it sound on my phone speakers? That's why I don't like surrounding myself with like-minded people, because I like the idea that somebody's going to challenge me one day. That somebody's going to challenge my knowledge and force me to learn something new. Learn a new process, learn a new plugin, learn a new DAW.
Vocal Sync
Somebody
2, shout out.
Eyes has challenged me so much as an artist in the last couple of months that at one point I got offended. I was like, he needs to stop. Let me make my music.
What did I do?
I had sent you something and you're like, you could use a little, and I was like, shut up.
I usually
You're like, just say it's good, damn it.
I usually double
Just
check.
tell me it's good.
I usually
I was
double
like,
check
just tell me it's
before
good
I
and
give
leave me
feedback.
alone. No, and I appreciate the feedback, but there was at one point and I was like, damn it,
Oh,
tell me I'm doing
sorry.
good. No, you're good.
No,
I'm
you're
just
doing swell. All right, don't even
It
worry
was
about
the
it. You're
day
doing
that
fine.
I hate that word. It was the day that I had
Swell?
yeah, I hate that word.
Why?
I don't know why. I hate the word swell. I hate the word
All right,
tasty, and I hate the word
fine.
yummy.
You were doing moist. So there we go. Is that better?
What the fuck?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
No, surround yourself with people that are supportive enough to challenge you. If I send somebody a song that knows nothing about music production, and they go, I don't like this, something about it's wrong, and then I send it to you and you go, yeah, you totally missed.
There is
I missed
value.
I missed the vibe, I missed the production. I don't like surrounding myself with people that think like me.
There is a lot of
To a
value
certain
in
extent.
sending something to somebody who's not a musician, though, because if it's palatable to them, That's actually
I
really
have
good. You're making music
I
for the
have
listener instead of the producer, and there's a lot
I
to
have
that.
non-producer friends that are just simply testers. They'll play the music wherever. I said, play this where you listen to music the most, and then play it where you listen the least. When I sound test, let me tell you this my process for sound testing is insane. I hate it. There are days I just stop mixing because I don't want to sound test the change.
Oh,
I was like,
yep.
screw it, I'll do it again. I will. So what I'll do is I don't have studio monitors, and I want them, but just right now it's not necessary because like these are same, they do the same thing. They're studio headphones, so I can get a good honest sound out of these, and I'm not as worried about getting another thing that does that right now.
You can
So
also
I
get
listen
the
to
plug-in to balance your headphones too.
I could,
But
but I don't know how I trust that myself
I don't know how I
because like
trust it either. But on top of it, I've looked into that plugin. Most people are like, yeah, it's just a frequency response. You just get an EQ band, and people make them for free and give them to you. You just find your
so
headphone model, ask for the frequency band, and then they'll send it to you for free.
I like because I listen to music in so many different places. I feel like that when it comes to people who listen to music, I am like up here with where I listen, how I listen, how much I listen, what I listen to. Because I listen to things that vary so much, I can get a good bite of how it sounds, how it's supposed to sound.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm making a song that's like sad, slow, somber, I can use like a Sleep Token song as a reference track. I can use a Snow the Product song as a reference track. I can reference track wherever, whatever, because I listen. I listen on my phone speaker. I have this thing. It's a 360 speaker.
Mm-hmm.
You can listen to it on here. My speakers, these headphones. I'd fucking play it through somebody's console if I could. I play it on here. I play it on my TV. I'll play it on my TV, and then I'll play it through the soundboard. I'll play it through so many different sounds to make sure that I got it right. And the second I hear something wrong, I can judge like, okay, is that the fault of the speaker? Is that, and it makes me think just like how much more can I change and how much better can it be? I mean, going back to the like-minded people, if I only listen to music through these headphones that have a very good bass response, I'm never going to know if the bass is overpowered
You want to listen to flat as much as possible.
Yeah, I want to listen to flat, but I also want to hear it in here to know how these sound, how that sounds, how my car sounds. And then I change the settings in my car to make sure that it's right. I'm gonna start listening to him in my partner's car because his stereo speaker isn't great. So it's nice to have a bunch of different places, and I'm glad we got to talk about it because nobody talks about it either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and not really like, no, Q. I knew what you meant when you the way you said like-minded people. That just happened to be where the conversation drifted off to. But like, I wouldn't like to surround myself with like 5 of me that think something sounds good. I want to send it to somebody who doesn't work the genre. I like sending it to people who don't like the genre of music that I make. I like getting an answer. I've had so many people look at me and go, I don't listen to that, but that was pretty good. That is when I know I have made a good song.
Kind of like when I see Prominent jamming out to Cola Coca, I'm like, oh, this is decent. This is decent. This is
Absolutely.
so far out of scope to what he would typically play.
And it's so like, and that's what I really like about being, in your guys' community, because there are so many people that are different. There's such a great, like we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. There's such a grand scope of people in this community. They're all so freaking different.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's different in such a way. Like, I feel like that the role that I fill in this community is just the total opposite end of, what I've seen. But it helps me fit in. It's like a petal on a flower. I occupy my own space.
You're a unique one in the community. I feel like
everybody is.
I feel like, yeah, we definitely are. 1,000%. We all fill the roles.
Between me, you, and Prominent, we are 3 totally different people.
Yeah.
But we are 3 people that can bounce off of each other in such a good way, such a productive way. And then you throw Harmfree in the mix, and Harmfree's his own little petal there. Like, he fills his role just like we all do, and it doesn't feel like that anybody's stepping on anybody's toes. It doesn't feel like what I do changes, what somebody else does, or like I don't feel like I step on toes here. I feel like that I can be myself, bring my own to the table, and not feel like that I'm overdoing it or I'm taking somebody else's role. Everybody here feels so unique that it feels better to be in because of the role that I fill being so different.
Yeah, and thankfully, what I like about the community is
Cool.
I think it's pretty easy to spot out anyone who's faking it or something. It feels like everyone here is, for the most part, pretty genuine.
Wow.
As far as I've seen so far, yeah.
Slaps. Prominent, you hater.
What did I do?
This honey bun cowtail fucking slaps, dog.
Problem, we haven't heard from you. Say something. What you have to say?
Something. No, I'm just kidding.
Say something.
No, but before my mic started to mess up, I did want to say that back what Kunwar was talking about earlier with the whole childhood thing, like trying to find like-minded friends, for me, it actually, in a way, it's kind of helped because when it comes to jazz music, I do have it gives me a lot of critics that are willing to be open with me about how I sound and things like that. Which most of the time you'll typically hear, it's like another musician at like a gig or something like that, or like a jam session or something like that, just be like, oh, you sounded real good, man. You sounded real good on that solo. And it's like, that's like a normal thing to do, to just compliment each other, Because I guess in a way, other musicians are kind of afraid to critique each other at the same time. I mean, I don't mind it, but at the same time, I really don't, because I know that other people can't really take criticism lightly.
And that's what I like
but
about
at the same
being
time,
around
it's just
here.
like, yeah, exactly. It's like, here, I don't mind it.
I can give you criticism. Yeah. But like,
yeah, and I'm not going to get mad at it because it's like, I want to get better.
But us as artists, our criticism isn't backhanded like a lot of criticism is, or like compliments in the music industry. It's like, oh, you did great. Like, so backhanded sometimes. Like here, I don't feel like that I have to worry about that.
And I can agree with that too, because when it comes to like those compliments being backhanded, in a way you can tell with like other musicians, because some of them are like more a little snottier than others. So if they hear something that they haven't done and it's like, oh, they did that, and it's like they get a little bit more praise for it, they're gonna get a little jealous, like envious in a way.
Yeah.
Start feeling some type of way. And it's like that's where like the little like shade comes in. It's like, oh, you sounded great, but in their mind they're just like, oh, fuck this dude. Like
But it's kind of like going into the topic that we were saying we were going to cover earlier, is working with selfish artists. That's kind of what we're covering right now.
What you trying to say? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not saying anything about you, but I know Yoltzin wanted to cover the subject.
Man, I live in like SoundCloud capital number 3 of the world, dude. Everybody around here is either smoking meth or has a SoundCloud.
Sounds like fun either way.
What the fuck? Oh, don't you do that to me, bro. Don't. Hold on. Audacity just crashed.
Oh, don't worry. Just let it go. I forgot to record my vocal file anyway. So we're just gonna let.
You're gonna get like 3 or 4 different files from me,
We're just gonna.
But they're all like
don't
together.
even worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
Oh,
just skip it.
Hold on, I got it.
Because I'm not even gonna use them.
Okay, bet I'm gonna stop recording. Then.
Yeah, save your space. Because I forgot to hit record on mine because I was so focused on getting everything lined up for the show. And
damn, so when I said eyes, that's for you. I muted myself on Discord so Audacity could hear it, but you guys couldn't. And I said I sharded on God.
You can still send it. Maybe we can make it a channel point alert.
No, I
sharded on God.
You told me to get rid of it.
Sorry.
Tell me to do something. Don't put me in the clear.
The show's getting more and more tight together, which is good, but we still have a little bit of bumps in the road. And the audio sounds great this episode. So
it's only episode 9, so.
Yep.
We still got a long ways to go. You got other podcasts that have like hundreds of episodes.
Yep.
We're still in the beginning, but we're doing great.
Selfish artists.
Anyway,
go off, Yoltz.
Yeah.
So
let's see what you got to say about these selfish artists, yo.
Meth head SoundCloud users.
Woo!
What you were saying?
We talking shit today. All right, this is what I want to talk about.
You don't have to name drop. You don't have to.
Oh, I don't have to.
Good.
I'm not going to, unless I do on accident. And then if I do, that sounds like your problem. You should have taken my advice in the first place. You big-headed oompa loompa.
If he drops names, it's our problem, apparently, ours.
Yeah.
No, so I live in a town that there's not a lot to do in. So everybody around here is a rapper. Like man,
It's like
I can put a
90% of all
poster out that
music
says
these days.
just send me your last song, and I'm sure it would fill up my Gmail pretty quickly. But it's so bad. Like the culture of music around here is so bad. Like, and I want to stick around, and I want to help bring, in terms of entertainment, I want to help bring something music wise back because I love the city I'm in, but I don't love it enough to not leave it behind for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very, very tongue in cheek. I guess as a way to put it. It's very backwards. So if I reached out in the Discord and I just said at everybody, I'd probably get stabbed for it. But if I pinged everybody and I said, I'm looking for artists, throw a verse, whatever. Especially around here. I'm a rapper at heart. They're rappers. Should be pretty easy to put together a couple of ciphers with some of the people around here, right?
You would think.
You would think. Anytime that I've asked anybody, yo, you want to throw a verse? I don't know. I charge for my verses. Fuck you mean you charge for your verses? Your last song got 12 plays in 3 months. Shut up.
Yep. Very good point.
Shut up.
Very good.
Talk
Point.
about
entitled.
I'll charge $100 a verse. Man, you don't shut your stupid ass up.
I charge
Shut
$500 every 30 seconds.
That's bullshit.
I charge by the hour
You want a
for
30
writing.
You want a 30
Now,
second? You want a 30-second verse? $500.
I charge $100 an hour to write the verse, record the verse, and then send the verse.
Exactly.
But most of the people around here are illiterate, so they can milk that. That's pretty easy.
I don't charge people at the moment. I'm not. I don't feel that I'm
You're not
at a
there
level,
yet.
and then B,
No, and
it's like I don't say yes to everybody. I get asked for collaborations pretty frequently, and I
don't say yes to everybody.
I
either.
say no a lot of the time, or let people know, hey, I have to really know you first. Like, Yoltzin, it took a while before you and I even started a collab. You know what I mean? But
I held that back from asking, like directly asking about. Like I've talked about it. I've made off comments about it. But before I like directly like reached out and said I want to do this with you, I wanted to hold that because I know like I'm entering a community of musicians.
And you don't want to be that typical guy that's like just straight up
here.
asking for stuff without even talking to anybody.
And I'm down here. Okay.
You think it's just a networking party or something like that?
For example, I was talking to my partner about this. We were listening to Love at First Sight. And I was like, ooh, I could freestyle on this. And I was just like in my head, I was just like throwing down on it. I was like, ooh, throw a chill little like pop rap verse on it. I was like, I can see it. And he's like, why don't you just ask Prominent to throw something on there? I was like, I've known Prominent for 3 weeks. I'm not doing that. I was like, I'm not doing that. You know, I didn't do that with you guys because coming into this community, I mean, it's not like when I was working, like when I worked with Evan, we talked about it pretty quickly because we're both musicians. We knew each other as musicians. That's how we met each other.
Mm-hmm.
We talk music and we were comfortable enough to ask. 9 times out of 10, I will not say no to a collab just because I don't want to do it. To me, I feel like that's helping getting my name out there.
Yeah, me too.
For me to do what I do, because I know you guys put a lot more into it. Like, I don't want to say you guys put more into it than I do, but you do. Like, I'll throw a beat, I'll throw a verse, I'll mix it, and I'm done. Like, you guys put so many more intricate details, like the instruments. All of that's so much more than what I usually put into mine. Because I use loops, and anything that I make is usually pretty quick and simple to make as a loop.
Yeah, I found that.
So what
too.
I do, I don't really think is worthy enough to say no versus like what I put into it versus what I get out of it. I don't think it's worth it to say no. If you came up to me and said, "Let's do a verse," I'm gonna look into you. I'm gonna check your background. I'm gonna look like what do your features look like before?
Background check.
what have your features looked and sounded like? How have they sounded? I worked with somebody. I did a song that I didn't promote back. When was it? I want to say it was the end of last year. I did a song that I didn't promote because we talked about it. I listened to some of his stuff and I was like, that sounds pretty good. He asked me if I want to mix mine or if I want him to mix it. And I said, well, I'll mix it. I'll send it to you. And then you can let me know what you think. You know, if you don't like the way that I mixed it, I'll send you the raw, feel free. And I sent him the mixed file and he said, yeah, sure. He said, I'm going to add a little bit to it. And I said, all right, cool. And he butchered it. He butchered it. I'm not gonna promote that. I'm not gonna go out there and tell everybody go listen to the thing that he just fucked up. I'm not gonna do that. And none of his features have ever sounded like that before. So I don't know what the hell happened, but he added. It sounded like he added the Fresh Air plugin, and then compressed the shit out of it, and then didn't put any output gain on it.
Oh, of course not.
So it was super quiet. It was super quiet, and it was super tinny, and it just sounded bad. And I was like, I could have just sent you the raw file, and you could have just done it yourself. Well, I could have, but I thought it sounded better. I was like, all right, cool, I'm done. Why? I walked away. I was done. I'm just like, I don't want to. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not working with you anymore. Like, good artist, but man, yeah, and it's like
that's the thing. If I'm on somebody else's track and they're producing it, I'm just like, okay, my hands are really off this. Like, I'll do what I gotta do for you, but then it's in your field because I have other projects.
Right, I'll let you control it. Like,
if
you just got my verse. Like, have fun.
If you're on my track, if you don't mind, send me the raw vocals because I will gladly do it. Because I won't F up your vocals, and then we'll talk about it in the process afterwards, so we can make changes.
Yeah, if I'm the producer on the track, send me the raw.
Mm-hmm.
That's like Evan. When I worked with Evan, he said, I'm gonna send you the because I asked him to send me the raw and the process because I like his because I modeled my vocal train a lot after his because it's very simple, but there's a lot to it that I liked the way that it sounded. So I was like, well, we have very similar effects trains. Send me both so I can see. I also want to see how close I can get to it. I want to see how close I can match your sound without using your sound. And I got pretty close. The only thing was I didn't have as much reverb as his did. Aside from that, it was pretty damn close. But if he's mixing it, that's on you. You got to mix it. But if you tell me that you like what my mix sounds like and you just want to use that because you trust my judgment as a producer, then go for it.
Everybody mixes differently at the end of the day. You know, everybody has a different version of what the great sound is for their song. You know,
right?
Some people may like a lot of reverb. Somebody else may like a lot of bass in their song. Some people like just throw the vocals all the way out in the front and just say fuck everything else. You know, you never know how somebody else is gonna mix it. So I can understand why you do the little background checks on people. It's like, okay, does this actually work with what I'm doing?
Right.
Instead of just getting somebody random to throw on a collab.
Right. I won't randomly take a collab. Like, I gotta know you and know that you're going to do justice by my vocals before I trust collabing with you. But like going back a little bit, this artist that one of the artists that I'm talking about, he collabed with somebody else and it was Alba. Now this is the same person. I don't know why I think it's because it's like the only music connect that I really have in this fuck ass town anymore. And he's yiffed me on like 7 or 8 different verses. Like, oh, here, I'll send this to you. He'll go, I'll send this to you. Sends it to me. I write the verse. I send him back what I have. And then he goes, nah, I gave the spot to someone else. Or, nah, I cut the song. Or, I put the song out 2 weeks later. He took it back down. And I'm like, why? Why even have me jump on at that point?
Wasting your
What's
time.
the point?
Were you just like an audition or some shit like that for him?
Apparently.
That's what it seems like.
Well,
but and then he had a bunch of features on that next album. And they were all like, some of them mixed their own or had their engineers mix the vocals themselves and then sent it to him to throw onto the song, which is fine. If you know how to audio balance.
Yeah, I was going to say, except for the fact that you have completely different production styles on each track. And it's like, you kind of have to balance that.
Now, I know that everybody sounds different. Like, there's a couple artists out here that are so dependent on like 0 auto tune. Like 3 different plugins of 0 auto tune.
What do you mean 0? What's that term?
So
like
on
full
the
on magnetizing your voice to the correct pitch. Okay.
So it's there is the speed, there's the note correction, and then there's the speed. And if you turn those all the way down to 0, you get the full robot T-Pain sound.
Yeah, Melodyne allows me to kind of naturally adjust.
Like vocoder, like talkbox type shit nearly.
Yes, that. I know
Yeah.
some artists around here that use that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's not my style. I mean, sometimes I'll overuse it. Like, I think What You Say I overused it on. Self-Destruct. Self-Destruct was another one that I turned the auto-tune down for. It was like a 3.5, 3.5. It was super auto-tune. There was multiple on there because it fit the song and it fit my vocals.
Right.
And there are artists around here that do that. They'll throw 3, 4 auto-tune plugins on with like 0, just all correction, just
Nah,
immediate
That's
correction,
too much.
which is fine.
No.
It's
That's
fine
too
if that's
much.
your style and if you can make it work.
I guess you're right. Yeah,
But-
if it's the modern day R&B type thing, yeah.
But if that's what you're going to send back to an engineer, and that engineer cannot flip that back into your track and make it work, and 9 times out of 10, it's level matching. Level match it, throw a little bit of reverb on there, so the end trails off. So the last word, reverbs. So it's not just a dead cut.
Yeah.
That's what I do. If you send me something that's already mixed, chances are I'll slap the slightest bit of reverb on there, or just at the end,
Delay.
just enough.
I really like delay a lot.
Yeah.
I was
depends
gonna
on
say
what I'm
delay.
doing.
It always helps. I always like a tiny bit of delay. That way you can just get that little bit of echo, and then you add the little bit of reverb onto that too. It's just
Especially when
Yeah.
you go big brain level and then do it as
oh man.
a bus. You can sidechain compress your delay and reverb.
Yes.
Man, if you're just
that goes next level.
yes.
if you're just punching a WAV file into the fucking DAW and leaving it there, then you're not doing it. It's awful. And I listened to the whole song and I was like, "Oh my god, what are you doing? It's so much louder. It's so much in your face." I said, "This is an R&B song." I mean, it's not. I don't know if it was supposed to be, but that's how it was. This is the type of song you got, and you had this guy with all this auto tune on here, and you didn't even blend it. It's not that he had all that auto tune; it was that you didn't blend it correctly.
Yeah.
So it just didn't sound right together at all. It just
No, not
sounded
at
real
all.
messy, unorganized, I guess.
No, and it sounded like somebody set the auto tune to the wrong fucking key. I don't know how you do that. Suck. Anyway,
Well, what's
don't-
the overall consensus on live autotune? Using it live. I think I'm not
Go for it.
for it personally.
if you
Using
use
auto-tune
auto
live?
tune,
Yeah, that's a thing.
if you use auto tune in your songs and you want to use it live,
I can
That's your
see
style.
that.
I would say
can
not
see
use
that-
it too much.
I can see
'Cause
that
nobody
argument,
wants to-
but at the same time, it's almost like, to me, it's like, man. For me, it's a personal thing. Like, yeah, I'm going to use it in the studio, but whenever I'm singing it live, I better be able to sing it live.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from with that. Like singing it live, like you got to be able to sing it live. You want to show off your vocals, you know.
Yeah.
I kind of understand. Like it depends on the type of concert, but like adding like a tiny bit of autotune, I feel like it wouldn't really hurt. But if you're trying to like go all out, like vocode your voice and all that shit, then why use it when you're live?
but to me, for
It's
live
still-
performances are just
Unless it's
that,
for
they're
effect, and you want
performances.
that way. I don't.
Like, and
Yeah,
I got
And
this
I
a
guess
lot.
it does depend on the show too.
If you're going out and you're
Type of
doing a
music.
show and you can't sing but you use auto tune like a lot of rappers today are, I do not want to go out on stage and pay $200 for a ticket to you go, shut up, stop, my money back.
There's also the thing that some drummers, there's the huge conspiracy or the controversy of using an auto kick. Like metal drummers will sometimes use an auto kick, so it gives them a
An
double
auto
kick,
kick?
like a so it automatically does the double kicks for them, so they don't, and everything's right on time. It's so I guess my
I
question
didn't
is,
know that did
you
that.
start to lose authenticity if you start using live autotune, auto kick creation or stuff. So it's like, for me, it's like, man, as much as I love the sound of autotune and well pitched vocals, I personally like it better whenever it's not used. I respect it a little bit more.
But
Whenever it's like more studio
I-
news, I guess, not live.
Yeah,
I would like to offer a counterpoint here.
I'm all for a
Uh,
counterpoint because I'm like struggling to have this viewpoint at the same time.
Oh, so
But like with the autotune, the auto kick.
so here's my counterpoint. Shut up.
Okay, and that's the podcast, everybody.
All right, I guess we're done here.
So, like, to me, I don't view shows as something that needs to be genuinely authentic. I'm not mad if somebody uses autotune because I'm paying for just what exactly it sounds like. It's a show.
Yeah. Yep.
You want to put on your best performance.
Mhm.
And if auto-tune is going to help that, or if your auto kick is going to help that, think about drummers, like the auto kick thing. There are drummers that just cannot do that all night. Fucking 3-4 hours a night. How many nights a week on tour? So like you have to consider that. You're not wrong. I will 100% give that to you. I love watching people go on stage and do things. Like if I rap fast in recordings and I'm not on stage fucking chopping it, I'm sure people are going to be disappointed.
But at the same time, that's almost where my argument's like, why go way out of your capabilities in writing it in the first place? It's like, but then there's another answer to that. It's like, because you actually have a sound that you want and you want to be able to achieve it, but doing it live is a completely different story. It's almost like, to me, you got to be able to at least kind of live up to it.
It depends.
You have to be able to do
it. Studio,
if you, so like, for example,
again, I'm like on the fence on this one because I'm fine with like live autotune, but at the same time, I'm not. I don't really have a strong opinion one way.
Like, there's a limit, you mean, for you?
I'm legitimately torn between, I think that's a cool idea, use it because it'll make the show a lot better and your vocals a lot better. But then I'm also like, no, don't. That's cheating. At the same, I don't know where I stand on the issue because, like, I
feel that.
You're just like
trying to figure out
conflicting crossroads.
It's a weird thing.
Think about this though: when you record something for a song, prominent, I've watched you do this. If you're recording a MIDI instrument and you're going in and editing that, what about that? You're fixing it for the song,
but it's different.
Yeah, but I'm only fixing it to a point where it doesn't sound sloppy.
Like,
I don't try to fix it to a point where it sounds.
If you went on stage and performed it the same way,
it would be different though. Because when it comes to live performances, when it comes to instruments, they're gonna sound more authentic. They're not gonna sound too close together. Nobody really expects that when it comes to that.
Here's my argument, Yoltz. I do take after take with my guitars, right? You see me and pull multiple takes into one beautiful piece, one perfect piece, if you will. But then in my free time, in my free time, I practice that over and over. So when it comes time to play it live, I can nail the solo. So it's not just dragging MIDI notes at the time to where it's convenient. I make sure that I'm practicing it, so whenever it's time to perform, I can nail it.
Right. But there's always pre and post help that I think that, like I said, when it comes to shows, I don't see them more as like, I don't see shows and concerts as like, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to sing and I'm going to hit every note perfect. I'm going out there and I'm putting on a show. I'm a performer. I'm an entertainer, which is what I get called on the side anyway.
Yeah.
Hello.
I was waiting for someone to get that one. But like, if I'm going out there and I know that I can sing, but only to an extent, I feel like that some of my songs, the auto-tune makes that. If I made the song without it, like your point is, if like, don't do it if you can't, some of my songs wouldn't sound the way they would without that heavy auto-tune. A lot of artists wouldn't.
And I'll be honest, I'm guilty to it too.
That's just the spike of like how people make music. I would rather go on stage with auto-tune and let you hear that auto-tune so it hits a little better, a little closer to what you were expecting, but still getting a live performance feel.
Yep, that's fair.
Rather than me just going out there and just like, that's what you're gonna hear.
But I mean, like I said, I'm guilty to it too. Thinking about Cola Coca, that's almost all screaming through that song. I am not one to be able to. I can
scream it through like one whole song on stage.
That would be a lot. I need to find an unclean vocalist if I'm gonna do that song live.
Or just make like a live version of it where you're not screaming all the time.
Reimagined.
Or like another version where it's meant for like live performances and stuff, I guess. Like the way I'm thinking of it, like when it comes to
that one's a straight heavy, kind of borderline mosh song. It's pretty brutal. Crazy.
The way I'm thinking of it though, is when it comes to like live performances, like I know what people are expecting at the end of the day, but they're not expecting the exact same thing as they hear like on the studio version or like they heard on the radio or something like that, you know.
That's like rappers.
Like they hear one song like a jazz song like on the radio and it's just like they're gonna go out and hear it live they're not gonna get the same notes. They're gonna get the same melody, but it's not gonna be played the same way.
They're gonna get an experience. They're gonna get an in that moment, in that energy. Like when I do songs, like I was gonna do I got invited to do a performance back in October of 2021. I want to say it was. I got invited to perform at a Halloween party, and I got unfortunately I woke up sick as fuck that morning, so I had to cancel. But which is good because I think only like 4 people showed up. He was like, "There's gonna be like 40 people here," and he texted me. He's like, "Dude, nobody showed." I've been mad as hell. But like my plan was I was gonna play the song in the background. I was just gonna play the song behind me and just perform, do my vocals in front of it. I had a couple of them specially edited, so like the faster rapping. You didn't hear that. The stuff that I fast rapped, I just kept the instrumental on. I didn't even play it, so you could hear it. It's a performance at the end of the day. I would rather go out there and perform. I'm not going to go out there and sing every line. I do it again. We all do it. You all know you do it. You all turn the song on, you pick up a microphone, and you just start fucking jamming in your living room.
Oh, of course. Like having an open concert in my living room every day. The fuck?
All the time. And how many times? And shut up, guys, you're a liar.
Do it. I sing along to songs,
grab a
but
hairbrush.
No, I don't.
You don't grab, Matt?
I grab a pants grab.
I mean, I don't have a microphone to grab, but I'll grab something to be like a microphone.
I grab a pants
grab. You're telling me you don't pick up one of these and just fucking like, I'll sit here in my bedroom in my mirror and I'll be like,
No, okay, you know what? I don't do that.
See,
I don't
have a mic.
For whatever reason, I when I'm sitting at the desk, I do have a tendency to automatically sing into my microphone. Just like this. Like I'm doing a tape.
Yeah.
Not all. It's not.
Yeah, but he's talking about like just in general, like not needing a mic, like just turning on the music, blasting it, and just singing along, like karaoke.
Yeah. But I don't pick up the hair.
I don't know. Sometimes if I need,
why not? That's what makes it fun.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes
I'll pick up a brush, I'll pick up my screwdriver, like I'll pick up something and just like
I have a bunch of these wireless mics sitting around, and I will
borrow one of those.
I got 4 of them.
I air guitar too. So Toxic's right. I do air guitar a little bit. I at least do the hand where I'm like plucking.
So like
stuff.
if
I'll do like air piano if I'm listening to like a good ass jazz or like air trombone. I'm sitting here like.
I'll if I need like a good dose of inspiration or like if I'm working on a song that I got to be up for, like especially when I rap. If I'm working on a rap song, I'll take some of my rap music, my more like rap stuff. I'll put it on, I'll start blasting it, I'll grab a mic and I'll just like do a little performance in front of my mirror. And then I'll just I'll hit it. I'll hit that bitch word for word, but it's it's like performing on stage. You're never going to hit that note for note. But also sometimes
you're not going to hit every single note correctly on a live performance, and that's okay. Like nobody does. But also, not even like great musicians, like legends and shit.
Sometimes what you do isn't going. Sometimes on stage, what you're gonna do just might not be enough to carry that performance. Like I think that if a lot of rappers went out there and didn't have the auto tune, I think that their shows would crash. There's no way. There's no way. You're telling me that like Travis Scott would go out there and you're telling me there's no auto tune whatsoever.
Well, that's his style of music too. His sound of music has that 0 auto tune on it. But I'm talking like I'm talking
some sort of auto tune.
But I'm talking Blink 182. Blink 182 did a show where you could tell there was some 0 auto tune on it, and I'm like, see, I think that's what I mean. It didn't sound.
Where the point is like you sound like a fucking robot. Like you don't even sound like yourself if you that much.
If you're going out there and you're throwing stuff on there that just doesn't fit, like I would never have anybody put any effect on me that isn't already on my chain. I would never let you go a cent lower than what I put on my chain.
What about a penny?
Nope.
Same thing.
If you're gonna put anything on me, it's got to be something that's already on a vocal chain.
I need to figure out
it's gotta be closer to me.
Presence as probably just a vocalist, because when I start doing shows live, a lot of my stuff are dual leads, and it requires looking down, being curled over to play them. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to be playing dual leads or a lead while I'm singing the song. So it's almost like I need to figure out my stage presence, microphone presence, all that type of stuff. While I
already know how I'm.
I feel like for you, Eyes, what would work for you if you're doing like a solo thing to start out with? I feel like you just simply getting like a loop pedal, getting like a guitar loop going, and then you can come behind that while you're singing. and then turn off the loop, do like a little solo, and then go back to looping. You know.
Yeah, I was
That's
kind
what
of
I've
doing
seen
that.
at least for some
I
people.
kind of did that for a show one time because they were like, we want dinner party music. It's just like kind of background
Yeah.
stuff. I was like, all right, cool. I'll just do a live
Easy
community
shit.
cook-up. Remember those community cook-ups?
Mm-hmm.
And I did one, and they were like, hey, we need to change it. Why don't you sing? I'm just like, oh, but you wanted dinner music, right? We want you to sing because you're the center of the show. I'm like, not really. I'm the background music. What do you mean?
Right? Like,
it's
why are you
weird.
changing it up on me?
It's weird
Gas me
whenever
up.
they tell you your place and it's in the event, so you know your place and play to it, and then they're like, "No, we want
you to
more."
do this.
It's like, wait, I didn't prepare.
I'm glad
for
you
this.
like the music, but this is not what I signed up for. But okay.
Oh, you want dinner music and vocals? Is that what
And
you
a
want?
show?
I got you. All right.
Ooh. Everybody just gets up from eating like, what's going on?
No, you just go up there, you start screaming, and then everybody just starts fucking headbang into their spaghetti.
Oh, does the spaghetti turn into their hair?
It will if you hit
exactly,
your head off
just-
the table hard enough.
You just got tomato sauce flying all over the damn
I'm
restaurant.
gonna tell my kids Yoltz was Tyson Stevens. Never mind, I take back what I said.
Dude,
Oh
if you're
my
not
God.
following Casual, I gave her a shout out. You guys need to follow her. She's badass,
Yeah.
fun as hell.
That's a
I'll give
new
her a
name to
follow.
me.
She's baller.
Yeah, I don't know that name. So I'll give her a
Instant
follow.
ledge whenever she came into the stream. Instant icon. I was like, hell yeah. We were watching MTV and she was just as she was
MTV.
just off cuff as I was. I was like, no, we were doing a tier list. And she said, hold up. She said, you for real put Domino's in D tier? That's B. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's talk about
You
it.
said
Domino's is
F
C
tier
tier.
earlier, so
Oh yeah, Domino's. I had it recently. D
you
or F.
moved it all the way down to F tier.
Yeah, it's like down to F.
because of your bad experience.
Oh, it was terrible.
It's in the under the prison experience, man.
Yo, hold up. Toxic gift us up. Thank you, my dog. Big freeze, bro. Wow.
I knew immediately where it was from. Eyes.
Dude,
I was like, you
Toxic.
watch too? I was like, oh shit.
that's crazy.
After
Toxic.
every one of his
Big
videos, oh, you hear
freeze,
that
bro.
Asian lady that's like, subscribe,
Yep.
subscribe.
Evidently, it's his ex-girlfriend. Dude, Toxic, thanks for the gift.
Oh, really?
Man. Blessed be
That
to
is-
you from me. I appreciate it, dog. Nick, welcome into the show, bro. Good to see
Nick
you.
Howard, welcome on in.
The
Look
meeting
at everybody
of
coming
goats.
through.
Dude, I know. We got pure icons in chat today, dude. Thanks you guys
Hell
for being
yes.
here.
I'm eating
Eyes,
watermelon
Nick
dots
Howard,
and they're fire.
Toxic, Harmfree, everybody's in here. Love it.
Hey, Toxic,
Happy
thank
Max
you.
Salesman.
Thank you for the gift sub, my friend. I appreciate
Case is
that.
here too. What's up, man?
Guys,
welcome
say
in.
What's
Welcome
good,
in,
my boy?
everybody. My boy.
Hey, everybody
I
coming
saw
through.
Lauren's in here. Welcome.
Welcome
From
everybody. Yeah.
My hellscape.
We're cruising right now. We're covering some topics about talking about selfish musicians.
Dude, speaking of
musicians.
speaking of musicians, not selfish musicians, but dope ass musicians. Shout out Eat and Draw and Blue Wolf. Those are Nate and Anthony, my brothers. Fuck, they are incredible. They got the ball rolling on the music journey.
Cheers.
Oh, and Casual. Welcome to being a sub. No more ads. You should be using an ad block though. If you're trying to use the internet these days, please
You have to.
use an ad block.
I will admit though,
What are you-
I
what are you
am
doing?
currently
But you
trying the
also-
free trial of YouTube Premium.
But you also have emote.
It's just a free
usage-
trial though.
You also have emote usage and discounts on merch if you want some merch. So shout out. Thanks for the gift sub, Toxic, and welcome to being a sub.
YouTube
Casual
Premium is
deserved it.
fire. So I use YouTube Music. I don't like the way Spotify's laid out, and I liked it on YouTube Music.
I'm too used to
You can
Spotify to try
listen.
YouTube Music.
But YouTube Music is nice because if there's a song that's not distributed but it was posted on YouTube, you can listen to it in the app too. So if you just posted
Like
a
a song that wasn't like distributed through like DistroKid or something like that.
yeah, if you just upload the song to YouTube, you can find it on YouTube's music app. It's there, it exists. So it
you
doesn't
can
have to
just
be
listen to it
distributed.
with YouTube
Yeah.
Premium,
So there's
true.
that. Well, not even with premium. That's just a general feature.
but not in, like in the background and shit. Because I'm not leaving my phone on the whole time. That's
No,
what
that's
that's
fair.
one thing I like about YouTube Premium. It's just like I can listen to stuff in the background.
Dude, if you
I can
I'm
download the
telling-
videos
with
too.
the
I'll tell
original, with
everybody right
the
now, the best thing to do is You get an ad block, like you block Origin, and then get sponsor block. You block all ads on YouTube.
I mean, I have ad block on my desktop, but not through
posts.
mobile and stuff.
Oh, that makes it different. Get
music.
this. If you're on Android, get New Pipe. It's a free YouTube.
YouTube Music, you don't have to have premium to shut off your phone. If you have YouTube Music, it works like any other streaming platform. YouTube app itself, you have to.
If you're on Android,
where the fuck did my follow sound come from? What? Oh, I have OBS open. Shouts out, casual. I was like, where did my? I'm not even.
She's like, wait, people are following me. What?
No, I heard the baby no money. Nice. And I was like, nice. I'm not streaming. No, so for YouTube Music, if you have the app, you don't pay for premium, any of that, you can still turn your phone off and listen. You get ads as if, you know, in a normal platform. But with YouTube Music, you don't have the ads. It's just regular YouTube. If you're in the YouTube app and then you close the app or shut your phone off, then it stops.
Yeah.
It's YouTube Music. You don't have to. Yeah, premium will let you listen in the background, but YouTube Music isn't like that unless it's changed in the couple of years that I've used it. But when I started using it, you could close your phone, because I used to do that when I worked overnights. I used to just shut my phone off and it would just keep playing. I would just get a shit ton of ads. But I pay for YouTube Music, and then I'm like, well, I watch a lot of YouTube. 90% of what I watch is YouTube. So I was like, why not bundle it, go another $3 a month? I get ad-free YouTube. And ad-free music.
I do love the free ad.
I get nothing, not a single ad. I did hear that Tidal is very good on payout.
Well, I think Tidal's FLAC too. I think they offer FLAC, FLAC, the high quality. But I'm kind of with Harmfree. I support whenever I can through buying records, but I usually just stream through Spotify.
I got like a bunch of CDs over there, just like in a whole book full of
them. But I like Q saying, and other people are saying, like, they combine not only mainstream artists but like anything that's on YouTube Music, even just like smaller artists.
Yeah,
just throw stuff up there, or video game,
even like our stuff that's on there too.
Yeah,
I had thought about doing a little kind of promo bundle for my next project.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody that prints T-shirts, and I thought about doing a.
I was just about to. I thought about like, oh, so do I! ! Merch. Here's my shop.
I thought about reaching out to that person and doing a little kind of collab thing, and I was gonna print my own CDs. I was gonna burn my own like discography after my next project. It'd be the first 2 albums, and then all the songs. So it's gonna be Reflections, all the singles until then. The next, I think it's going to be an EP, and all the singles that I release up until that point. So it'll be all of that. And then the bonus tracks on there are going to be all of the music that I have released before and pulled because it needed work that I'm remastering and re-recording. So a lot of the old songs I really don't want to release, but want more practice on mixing and writing and getting better with. I'm going to take all those old songs, remake them now, plop them on the end of the CD, and then do a little thing. It would be like there'd be a t-shirt. I would make because you can print like CD sleeves, get empty jewel cases, burn CDs. You can even get the fucking vinyl wrap that you can put on the CD itself. And I thought about going all out and doing something like that and selling like a bundle of doing like a t-shirt, a CD, and then I would like sign the jacket for the CD.
Yeah.
And doing a little bundle and then just ship it out myself. I thought about doing something kind of promotional like that, and having the extra bonus tracks on there would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought about. I mean, my recent thought, just talking to vinyl and stuff like that, because I want to release stuff on vinyl too. I think so. Right now, my goal is to just do a bunch of singles. Like we have this one coming up Friday, then Carla Coca's next in a month or 2 or something like that, and then eventually I'd like to get enough of them to where I actually just put them all on the record, and then actually release like 500 vinyls, 1,000 vinyls, something like that, just a small. But I feel like I'd possibly need a bigger audience and people who are more interested people. So it just takes time to build. So
I mean, that's the reason
for everybody who does follow and enjoy the music.
I think that's the reason that I didn't want to contact a company to do my CDs because I don't want to have to make 1,000 CDs for, I don't even have 1,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Who the hell's going to want to put money down to actually buy? So
Imagine making all those CDs too.
Right.
And to make it all and have to burn every
I paid like way back in the day, like $1,500 for 1,000 copies of CDs or something like that. So I still have
$1,500.
Yeah, it was expensive. I thought I don't know. I had no idea about the projected sales and stuff like that at the time. I was just like, I'm gonna sell so many of these. No, didn't happen. You learn over time to read your audience and what they want and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I still have a lot of copies. So maybe someday there'll be like a vintage gem, and I'll just sign them and hand them.
I'll send you my Addy to send me a couple.
It's a legit done through CD Baby and everything. They printed on the CD, a booklet, everything. It's pretty crazy. First album. Back when I was doing the dubstep
Yoltzin,
stuff.
I did want to ask you a question, Yoltzin, that I was curious about. Like, when you're like distributing your music through like do you just distribute it the same way through like DistroKid or other stuff like that? Usually like a CD Baby or whatever. And then it goes to like all the like YouTube and everything. Do you use that main YouTube channel or does it go through like a separate one? Or does it like make a separate channel?
So what it does is when you distribute to YouTube, it makes you a channel. It gives you a topic channel, which I don't know if anybody notices when I share my music in Discord, it says Dalzizzle topic because that was the original name I had opened the channel with. That was my original artist name.
Right.
So it says that topic. What I did was I worked through DistroKid and I said, this is my YouTube channel. This is where I post my music videos. This is the channel that I own. This is mine. And they took that and they said, all right, cool. They made that channel an official artist channel. So when now they'll distribute the music and it'll show under that channel. Like if I were to click on a YouTube link, it would take me and it would show you that it's my channel. It would, as if I uploaded it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It basically masks itself and says, this is the channel. If you look on YouTube,
but it's actually your YouTube channel that you use regularly.
Yes. Yeah. I thought about doing another one because there's a lot of crap with. I finally got Apple to change my name. By giving me a whole new artist.
I
thing.
oftentimes think about getting off of DistroKid. They are not as. How do I say it? They are like, hey, you pay so much per year to use the service, but it's like, okay, to keep your song up there, you have to pay $29.99 for a legacy fee.
I saw
then
that.
You have to pay $14 for Lyrics Blaster if you want your lyrics to be synchronized. Then you have to pay so much this, so much. It's like so much that you pay just for even one song, and on top of paying per month. So it's like, I get that these companies distribute, and that's part of what their job is, but it is irritating.
It's kind of it's kind of starting to get greedy a little bit.
So yeah, I don't pay for any of that. Nate, I see you there.
I pay for it because
all the songs that I've had,
I pay for
distributed through DistroKid. I never had to pay for them.
Well, I pay for it because I don't like the fact that they say if you cancel your DistroKid, this will be removed from Spotify. I don't like that. Yeah, so I will pay the $29.99 to make sure it stays up there for good, because I don't know if I'm going to keep using DistroKid.
Are you sure that's what it is? Because I've never read it that way. When I read it, I always thought that it said.
I do remember getting an email that told me that, but I haven't paid it. And they haven't done anything with like deleting my music off of Spotify or anything like that. So I don't know what's going on.
I think that's if you were to delete the song for any reason, or you were to delete your account or something like that.
And what Toxic said, DistroKid's unexpected extra fees are quite a turnoff. And like, I didn't know that it's the upfront advertising where they're like, it's, you pay $50 a year, and it's like, that's actually not bad, or $130 a year. It's like, okay, that's fine, upload this. But then it's like when you go to release a song, it's like, okay, $30 to make sure it's a legacy thing. Then I personally like to have lyrics synchronized, and that's like you have to pay $14 a year to have Lyric Blaster. So if you stop paying that, they stop synchronizing your lyrics. So it's not $50 a year or $130 a year. It's like $150 a year. And then you're paying $30 per track that you want to keep up on Spotify. Now I could be
I
incorrect.
pay.
Maybe the legacy thing is not what I'm thinking. So, but that's how I'm reading.
Let me
It seems like DistroKid's fees are a little misleading.
see. I don't like Nate. I don't like DistroKid, or I
No,
don't
you
like
guys didn't
CD
like
Baby.
that one. Okay.
I don't like CD Baby. I like so. Let me go back onto DistroKid because I want to read this
Yeah.
one right. Because
Yeah,
when I always
Toxic
read
was
it
saying
was
that
that
DistroKid
if you were to delete it or something, just go to.
I used CD Baby. I used to use CD Baby. I used Route Note because they would distribute everything for free for you, and you would get 100%.
That's how DistroKid was at first, wasn't it?
I don't know if it were free.
I think it's. Yeah, that's what Toxic was saying. It's because of. It probably is because of how big they're getting, and everybody started to use it now. So they're starting to charge and shit.
Now,
because I remember being able to do it for free before. You would have to pay if you wanted extra stuff added onto it, like security measures and all the other crap.
Now, TuneCore, what Dreadhigh is saying. Thanks for the info, by the way. I don't think I've
forgot
heard
about
of
TuneCore, but I haven't tried
but I
it.
haven't really used it. So if I can pay $50 a year for like TuneCore, and then it keeps all your stuff up there, and then I pay an extra $15 a year for Music Match, which is the actual lyric synchronizer. DistroKid and Music Match have a thing together where you can go through DistroKid and pay extra to have Lyric Blaster. But I would rather just pay that separately.
It'll be a lot cheaper at the end.
Yeah, more or less. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't 100% know. I'd have to look into it. DistroKid works fine for now, but I can see myself being easily pulled off to a different platform that offers a better deal.
I right now, as an artist, am in my discovery phase. So I feel like that whatever I do at this point, I'm not worried about. If all my music gets pulled from streaming platforms tomorrow, God bless you. Go ahead. I don't give a fuck. I'm at a point where right now I'm learning so much, and it's important. Don't get me wrong. But if I look at my numbers, I'm like, it gets pulled. I can distribute it elsewhere. I'm kind of in the middle of making my impact internally. Like, and a lot of the people that listen to my music are here. This community, my Twitch, my YouTube, they're all around me. So if I posted it on YouTube, I'm gonna get the pretty much same, common streams, I should say, or my active listeners. They're all right here. And I'm still learning to the point that if it all got taken down and all I had were my MP3s, so be it. I care. Don't get me wrong. I don't want it to sound like I don't care about what happens to my music. I know that if all of it got deleted tomorrow, I still have my copies of the music.
But this still rounds about earlier to the earlier part of the conversation, way beginning of the podcast, when you're like, I don't like being surrounded by people who just surround themselves with yes men. To me, that's what big corporations and companies are doing to musicians. Like, you pay us, and we'll keep it up there. But if you decide to not pay this $30 fee on top of your monthly fees already, it'll be taken down. It's like, dude, it's got to change at some point. And it's it's just not.
Yeah, no, I right now using DistroKid is, like you said, it's good enough.
Yeah,
it gets my music out there. I'm paying for my music to be out there. That's all that I think right now matters to me, is starting to dig down into building a community around me. Like, I have X amount of Spotify followers that listen to me. I'm starting to establish myself as an artist, people that follow me outside of the music, people who follow me.
Right.
And like people who follow me on Discord and Twitch and Facebook and Instagram and X and all that. People follow me outside of there. So they, it's a lot deeper than a Spotify number. It's a community number now.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to build myself. That's why I said if it all comes down tomorrow and I got to find a new platform, then sure. I'm whatever.
It's like, what can you do at that point, really?
Yep. It's all ebb and flow, a lot of growth, that's part of just doing this type of stuff.
This is the growth period, I think, for all of us.
Honestly,
I think right now I think that it's important for us to get better as musicians.
And just to really lock in,
apply more
from each other too.
I think because we're not big enough for a major corporation to come down and say, "Hey, buddy, that's not going to happen."
No.
There's no pressure on us from that point. We have the people that surround us, and we have to get better. We have to learn. We have to teach ourselves and each other. We have to establish these deep connections that we're going to lean on forever, music and friendship.
Yep.
We have to establish that now and get as locked in as we possibly can. So that way, when we start to get better and we start trailing numbers, and then we go, you know what? I don't like this. I'm going to move to this platform, and I'm going to start going here. That's when it's going to start mattering. Like when you start sitting at thousands of monthly Spotify listeners consistently, idly, that's when I think that all of that thinking should matter a little bit more. I don't think that right now,
No,
the numbers that we're pulling, I think that this is something that we can, I don't want to say ignore, but we can ignore this for now.
I mean, you just have to use the tools that you have available to you.
Yeah, and it's
not really a priority when it comes to numbers for us right now. We're just focusing on bettering our craft, I would say.
Right. So the fact that we have DistroKid is a blessing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 1,000%.
I like DistroKid to CD Baby because I don't like paying $7 a track to put out music.
$7,
and it may be more now.
A track.
CD Baby, yeah.
That's
you had to pay
That's
by
cheap.
the track.
That's cheap. $7
It's
per
cheap.
track.
It's crazy.
Whereas DistroKid,
It's cheap.
DistroKid is, say you only put out 3 tracks throughout the year. You're paying that whatever that yearly membership fee is. Then the Leave a Legacy is the $30. So it's like, to me, $7 a track is pipe dream.
Yeah, but
you could only release one track that year, and you only spend the $7 rather than like whatever the membership fee for DistroKid is.
Yeah,
and that'll save you a bunch of money right there, you know.
But
as all of us, I doubt we're going to release.
But if I want to go
track.
crazy and put out like, if I want to put out a 12-track album, or if I go, I'm putting out a song a week because I have that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, DistroKid's my better option, and I don't pay for the Leave a Legacy shit. Fuck it. I'm not. What legacy? I'm not there yet. I got the leg. I got my leg to stand on. That's all I gotta pay for. I will pay my $39 a year to have them send my shit everywhere, and I will put $100 down on Spotify every couple months and let them distribute my shit, because I saw what happened. If you're not putting money down to let Spotify run or fucking advertise your music, you're dumb. Man, I didn't know this.
If you're not what?
I didn't know this. I was looking into Spotify campaigns.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
I haven't unlocked that eligibility yet. I still am working on it.
Did you guys see what happened to Broken?
I see what happened to a lot of Fat Loud's tracks, and he's been able to coach me in a lot of this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, wow, it opened my eyes to a lot of it. So I'm looking forward to it where I can gain the eligibility, because I will be promoting it through the
let me tell you through a personal experience. So I had done a stream, and I said, when Broken hits 1,000 streams, because it was on track to in about 3 weeks. It would have been about 3 weeks. It would have hit about 1,000 streams. I said, when it hits 1,000 streams on Spotify, I will put out Self-Destruct. And then when Self-Destruct hits 1,000, I'll put out Tsunami. And just, until I can get the music videos done. I have music to put out, but if there's interest, I'll just keep putting music out while I'm working on the new songs that I'm putting time in for a music video.
Right.
I woke up the next morning and it said I had 143 monthly listeners. I was like, oh, that's weird. Something's wrong. I had 14 yesterday. No, it was 19. I was like, I had 19 yesterday. 143 is wrong. And then the next day it said like 500. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And here, Broken is going stupid. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? And I caught Evan while he was streaming. I said, yo, did you see the track? And he's like, I have an answer for you if you can't explain it. He's like, because I don't know if you did something or not. He put down $400 on Spotify and promoted like all of his tracks. And Broken blew up out of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know what
and
you
it
mean.
went from 800 views to 1,800 views in about a week.
Did it keep growing after that, or did it just like slow down after that week?
It slowed down after the campaign was over.
Has it stayed stagnant? Did it slow down and drop, or did it just kind of stop where it was and stay?
It was quick. It was a good 5 days. It was like 100 streams, 400 streams, 500 streams, 100 streams, and kind of back down to idling to what it was. But the way Spotify does their advertising and their pushing is so much better than like if you paid for an Instagram or Facebook ad.
Oh yeah.
So Instagram,
yeah.
Facebook ads, for those of you that don't know, you pay per impression. So if you're scrolling on Facebook and you see an ad for my song and you see my face and I'm going, hi, stream my song, I just paid for that. Whether you click on it or not.
Yep.
Right.
Spotify charges you per listen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
and it's a lot
doesn't
different.
charge you.
And it's a lot different when you're on a platform where you're there to discover more music.
Exactly.
Facebook, you're usually there to
go.
And that's why
that's
why the song
trash.
got 1,000 extra streams and then stopped.
When I gain the eligibility, that's what I'm gonna be promoting a lot more songs.
I think next week I'm gonna put 1,000 down, or not.
And 1,000. I think now since
100 down,
since Fat Loud has the eligibility for misleading because it's a collaborative track, he and I are gonna be splitting profits and doing a campaign with this, and then hopefully by proxy with our names being on it together, it pulls my name up into the rest of my songs.
Well, that's what, and that's what happened with Broken. Evan's name is the only time that it appears on the track is Spotify because it appears in the appears on tab.
Mm-hmm.
I gained 14 followers from that.
That's
I went up 14
dope.
followers in like 3 days on something that I didn't even pay for. He paid for it. He's the one that put it through there. And every time that, like, if you're listening on Spotify and you have 10 songs lined up and they take your song and they plop it at number 3, every time that somebody plays that song, auto plays, clicks on it, whatever, and it counts as a stream, then they go, yoink, give me that. Give me that. And that's how Spotify does it. And I love that because now you're not just paying for people to maybe see it and click on it. You're not paying for it until somebody actually discovers it. Per the campaign too, because I don't think it just counts if they go to your profile and play it. But that was just from what I was reading. But it went up 1,000 views. And it's not like it just the people listened to it and that was the end of it. People listened to it and followed. They want to hear more.
That's the thing I'm trying to get.
Yeah,
that's the big
retention.
You got almost 1,000 monthly listeners now, Yoltzin. It's crazy. Yeah, like I'm looking at your page right now. It's 938.
It's just 938. When I looked at it a little bit ago,
938 monthly listeners. It's crazy. And Broken's almost at 2,000.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
right now. It's beautiful.
Oh, it is 938. I got my numbers mixed up.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's the artists.spotify.com that really showcase these tools to you and tell you what you could be doing for your music.
Spotify for artists has been like the most crystal clear thing I have ever used.
Yep.
I used YouTube Studio for how long? I've been making YouTube videos for a decade, reading YouTube Studio, and I'm like, all right, cool. I guess that makes sense. Yep. You can see down to the freaking wire what everything is. It'll tell you city, state, country.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of listeners in Cambodia. I can tell you a thing about Cambodia, which is cool as hell.
So once I'm just looking forward to unlocking that ability to be able to do that. That's where I'm excited. Excuse me. And thankfully, hopefully with Fat Loud's help, we can get me there with this release. Because he's been able to really do well. And it seems like he's offering a very generous helping hand, and I'm very thankful for him for that. So
I've only seen Fat Loud one time, and I got this cool vibe from him, and I've been meaning to look and listen more.
He's great.
He really is.
You really ought to check him out. He makes really good music too. So yeah, I'm pumped. Misleading out Friday, guys. Go check it out. Here's the link to pre-save it, and then Toki J just put in the merch if you guys want. One of these shirts comes in multiple variants. It's only available until the 30th. Subs, you get discounts on the merch as well, so keep that in mind if you want something. But anyway, I won't product push too much. Yoltz, what do you have for us? What's your question for us?
Yeah, do you have any questions you want to ask me or
Dig deep.
Oh, that's a good question. Not really. I'm just kind of here for the ride. I try not to question too much. Well, at least with you guys. Like, I mean, I have my questions, but there's like nothing like music related.
Oh, well.
And not even like anything like asked. I mean, I know I have some somewhere, but My brain's not there.
It doesn't have to be
No.
music related. Just podcast kind of goes wherever it is.
No,
I mean, we
it's
started
just-
off the
I just-
podcast
I
not
try-
talking about music, honestly.
Fair. No, I really don't have much. With kind of with you guys, I just kind of sit back and just kind of rock it.
That's how it should be. That's how it ought to go. Ain't
Right,
it?
exactly.
I keep my mouth shut until I start talking shit.
We could open the chat for a little bit more interactivity and questions if you guys want. Feels like
Yeah, we could
covered
do
a lot
that.
of topics. And
In the
stuff.
meantime, while we open the chat up for questions, I do want to ask a question for both of you guys.
Okay, real quick.
Oh,
let me
just so I can
let
get
me
a
just
good
make the
perspective on
announcement. Anybody have a question in chat for any one of us? Yoltzin's a special guest today, so if you have a special question for Yoltzin, feel free to ask it, and we'll go through it. But in the meantime, we're gonna.
Why you gotta call me special like you're my first grade teacher?
Because every guest is special here. Back to front or front to back? Actually, for me,
Front.
it's both.
Front to back.
You start back to front just to get the excess off, and then you go front to back. But I'm also not a female either, so I don't have to worry about contamination. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, wait, you don't wipe your
Contamination.
hold on, wait. You don't wipe your dong when you're done?
You're trying to spit a bar?
No, I'm dead serious. You don't
When I'm done peeing?
you don't fucking take you don't take toilet paper and get the
Nah.
excess?
What toilet paper?
You're
I don't-
telling me
I
your
don't-
underwear smells like piss?
I don't believe in toilet paper. I just use my hand.
Ah.
Prominent, you had a question. What was your question?
You
Back
made
to
me lose track
profit.
for a second because of that remark you just made.
Always wipe the tip after you pee
Casual
so you don't
said.
get pee in your boxers.
Dude, you always drip. Come on. It's natural. It happens.
He's got that chain on, so it makes
Yeah, I
sense.
drip it out. I don't fucking I
You-
drip my neck out.
You drip it out, you shake it off,
With
and
this
then
$13 chain from Spencer's, bro.
no matter how much you shake, there are still some drops that happen. So why would you waste toilet paper? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but then you
No
can like
need.
pat it down and you get more pee out, so that way it doesn't just like leak out.
That sounds like an opinion that you are having.
What do you mean an opinion? You can come over and visit him and be like, "What's that smell?" Oh, I's just dripped in his fucking underwear.
What you think? I'm just wearing 3-day-old undergarments? Come on, nah.
I'm
I would
convinced.
hope not.
You build like somebody who doesn't wear underwear.
Depends on what I'm wearing. If it's like shorts, definitely not.
You
wearing
should be
undergarments.
wearing depends if you're not gonna wipe your tip.
I'll show you a tip.
Then it's gonna be in the AEO.
Look,
This stream's got too inappropriate
if
now.
you're wearing-
18 plus.
if you're wearing jeans, you're gonna want to wear undergarments. It's not very comfortable.
Well, yeah,
And
obviously.
if you're gonna rewear stuff like outer garments, yeah, definitely wear undergarments. But
I don't like wearing underwear with jeans.
What?
But I wear skinny jeans, so my underwear always like
Oh, see,
bundles
I
up.
can't wear the skinny jeans.
okay, so
What do you
there we-
mean nobody wipes
see-
the tip?
see,
Wait a minute.
there's
Oh
casual.
no.
There's casual.
Shut up, casual.
Dude. That
Shut
is
up.
she's a baller, dude. Honestly, I'm gonna throw a big.
Why
old-
did she say it like that? No, I'm the arc. Okay, if you wipe
You
back the front, you have shit.
That's
gross.
casual,
Because then
man.
if you
You
have
don't
somebody,
trust,
if you
you
have
gotta have a
somebody come
problem.
over, if you have somebody come over and you're trying to get a freak on it, and then you have them going down, and in a second,
What direction is this going?
You muted yourself, kid.
I think he
No
did that on
bullshit.
purpose. He's doing that on
underwear
purpose.
wet.
He's using like a pedal or something.
And another thing,
This is the thing, dude. Come on, you're making this up. Nobody has ever said to wipe the tip.
what do you mean?
Nobody's ever said to wipe the tip of the slip. That's all I'm saying.
Wipe your tip.
Nah, that's enough for me,
Your
big
piss is
dog.
that po- No, because
your piss
sometimes
is that
shaking it isn't enough.
If your piss is that potent, you have bigger issues, my guy. Drink some damn water. Oh,
I drink 2 bottles of water a day. What are you talking about? Because it doesn't all
2
come out when
bottles
you
of
shake
water?
it.
All right, Prominent, let me ask you this. Have you ever heard of wiping the tip when you're done? That's what I
No.
thought. That's the right
And not
answer.
enough men
That's the
do.
right answer. That's the right answer.
Because I don't technically have to worry about that. I shake it enough to where
You
like
shake
yeah,
it?
I feel like it's gonna drip regardless, but it's not
That's
gonna be
because
like
you
a whole
shake it
shit
more
ton
than twice
to
'cause you
to
like
the
to play
point
with
where it's
bam.
gonna like show up.
Bam. That's it. You shake it enough.
What? Yep. You shake it enough to where you'll be all right because it's gonna drip regardless.
Yeah. What do you?
Yeah, it's gonna drip regardless. You get that little bit that's on the
But
end
like
there.
one or two drops, that's nothing. So I
But
don't.
even then, even if
You
you
think no, but you think that's nothing.
no, here's the
You
thing.
think
It
that's
is
nothing until you
nothing.
can feel it.
Look, this is the thing.
I hardly worry about that
Even
if I
if
shake
you
enough.
wipe it off, when you start walking, it changes the urethral tube while you're moving. So even if you wipe it with the toilet paper and it gets back in your undergarments, it's still going to be dripping. You're not doing anything other than wasting toilet paper.
Yes, but that's less that drips.
No, it's not, because you
And you
shake
wipe
it
the
off.
tip.
You shake it off. You're done. You put it back, or you don't put it back. That's up to you. Depends on where you are. And it's
That's
gonna
a
drip.
felony.
It is what it is. Or a good time. A felony or a good time. A felony is wiping
No,
the tip
listen.
with the toilet paper. That's a felony.
That's not a felony. It's not my fault that your underwear smells like asparagus. That's got nothing to do with me. I'm just trying to save you some grief.
Bizarrely find myself in the wipe it camp. That is bizarre. That is weird. I know you very well, and you've never said that.
I do listen. I do pee sitting down because it gives me an extra couple seconds to reflect. Especially if I'm at work, I always sit down
To
pee. That way I can pull my.
reflect.
No, if I'm at work and I'm like I'm gonna go to the bathroom, I gotta pee, and then I'm just sitting there like I gotta scroll Facebook for a couple of seconds.
Also, pee sitting down, gang. I pee standing. I pee standing most of the
I'm
time.
trying to pee and be done. I'm not trying to sit in the bathroom for too long.
Yeah.
Sounds like your problem.
Also, I'm the type of
I'm
guy.
not
I'll
gonna
take my
pay for
time if
sitting
I'm
there.
taking a shit.
Also,
but
I'm the
that's
type
it.
of guy, you unbutton, unzip, and pull down the undergarment. You don't unzip, reach through, try to open the fly in your boxers, and then stick it all the way out. No, just pull everything down and get it done. That's way too much work.
No, we're getting. To
So
that
you're
time
like
of
them little
year.
kids that be pulling their pants all the way down at the
No,
urinal.
no. It's just I can show it on stream. I think that's allowed on Twitch now, right? No, I'm kidding. No, look, it's just you
No.
unbutton, unzip, pull down the front end, and then you just go. Easy.
Yeah, you unbutton. Well, you undo your belt, unbutton, unzip, pull down.
We got a freaking resub from Moon. My man, thank you for the resub, bro. Big freeze. Big freeze. Dude, thank you, Moon, for the freaking 3 months of Prime. Big preach, my dog.
No, so this is the time
are
of
you
year where you try to or you got to try to get 3 inches of PP through 6 inches of Carhartt.
What
What?
the fuck is this conversation?
You never. Never mind.
You're an unzip
When you
reach
wear-
through. Yeah, I remember
When you
that.
work when you work outside in the winter and you're like layers, and you got to try to like finagle it through instead of like undoing all your layers. Dr. Phil voice. We'll be right back.
Dr. Phil. We'll be
Hi.
right back.
Casey says, "How do you get inspiration, or what else is best to drop songs on?"
I find the best way that I get inspiration is just getting it done and not having to wipe. Then I have more time to actually sit down and write some music and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not wasting toilet
I wipe
paper.
off.
And then
I
I
wipe
find
the
that I
paper.
also find inspiration when I find out other people are wasting loads of toilet paper to wipe a single droplet of pee that
No,
still
see,
leaks
the
after
thing
it
is-
goes after they put it back in their pants.
I
and they
get
leave.
more. I get
So
more
it helps me
inspiration.
get emotional and write something deep on a deep.
See, when I write something, I'm not sitting in a puddle of my own pee because you don't wipe the tip. Because
At
I
least
wipe
it's
it,
warm.
so
At
it's
least
not a
it's
puddle.
warm.
No, because then it gets cold because it's out.
It depends on where you're sitting. You have to cuddle
Are
it.
you sitting on a heater?
You have to cuddle it. You have to keep it warm. Sustenance.
Sometimes I write songs with just holding my balls in my hand.
Well, there's that too. I mean,
I mean,
hello.
at this point, make the track.
You wiping front to back to you wiping from front to back and to front, and then the toilet paper thing. I don't know. I have a lot. Dude, I'm telling you.
Why poop in the toilet? Nah,
telling
Jakey
you.
Pick waffle stomps.
If you,
He just admitted it.
oh, he's Felix now. He's PewDiePie. He's
He's not a
PewDiePie.
waffle stomper.
Yoltz gives off. I stand up to wipe energy. I sure hope you don't stand up to wipe.
Nah, I sit to wipe and I do all my business, and then when I'm clear there, I stand up and wipe one more time
See, I
to make sure.
wipe. You have to get a couple back to front wipes to get all of the excess off. I'm telling you, I found this out a couple months ago. It changed my life. Then you wipe the rest of it front to back, and then you're clean. all I'm saying.
Nah, I'm a front to back.
Casual said,
front.
I gotta go. Yeah. So let's keep looking like that, prominent. Keep doing that.
I was waiting for y'all to finish.
Look at the camera. Do that again.
I got a new.
Give us that look.
I got
Let's
a
see what
new.
happens.
I got a new server sticker for you guys.
Oh,
I just sent it
good.
in the VC
What the
chat.
hell?
Oh,
What the hell
good.
did you just?
Oh, beautiful.
Fuck.
Goddamn beautiful. Goddamn beautiful. So, all right, we got to answer Casey's question, and then prominent, you actually had a question, and then everybody else, feel free to load up with questions for us or Yoltzin. Man, it was a great thing. I'm glad Casual's here. She really did change the whole course of stream. I am with Q on that one.
Yes, the hell you did.
Absolutely.
All right, so
See, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this before we got on. I was like, I don't know how this fucking podcast is gonna go because, like, I feel like I'm a little different than any of the other guests you've had on here. Like, I even said, like, I'm a shit talker, so I talked my shit when it came to music. I wasn't expecting.
Well, we
to
legitimately talk shit. Literally.
For a little bit there, yeah.
So Casey said, how do you get inspiration, or what else is best to drop songs on?
All the voices in my head talk at once, and usually one of them singing something. So I usually just take that and run with it.
Mm-hmm. Prominent.
I guess for me, when it comes to getting inspiration, do I usually get it? It comes from multiple different sources. I can be one day just like vibing, listening to music, and I could hear something. I'm just like, oh snap, you know? Or like, for example, like some of the songs that I'm working on now, like for example, like the last song that's going to be on my album, like the last track or whatever. I got inspiration from that from an old song that I heard from an old soap opera back when I was a kid. And I got the chord progressions from that, and I made something out of it, or I'm making something out of it right now. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if anybody in the chat or you guys have heard of an old like soap opera called Days of Our Lives.
I don't think so. Thank you, Yoltzin, for muting.
I was trying to. They had all settled, and then my fucking box looked like this.
Right.
And I'm weird. I gotta make sure it's gotta be flat. Sorry, Prown, you were saying?
No, you're good. That old soap opera, like I remember like the theme song from it so well. Like it's like ingrained in my head. So I was like, I kind of want to make like a good like ending song for the album from that, because I feel like it would be like really like cinematic and nice, like the ending of a movie, or something like that. You know what I mean? Where you kind of have like the ending credits type song or whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll listen to a song of a different genre. Like I'll skip back from like rap to pop to just whatever, and I'll go, I kind of want to make something that sounds like that, kind of jumpy. Like it looks like it sounds like fun enough that I would perform live. Like sometimes I make music that just sounds like it would be good live. Like that's what a lot of my rap is I like to make stuff that sounds fun enough to perform live one day, but also personal enough to tell a story.
And that's kind of what I'm doing with my music as well. Like when I release like my first like album and stuff like that, like I want people to be able to hear it and I want people to know, okay, this is Prominent, this is Brandon, like this is the type of music that he makes. This is who he is as a musician. This is what he's into, you know. Plus, with this, I'm able to tell a story as well. And with this story, it's pretty much like a story of how I fell in love for the first time and all that stuff. But it's like my own fantasized way of telling it in a way.
When I write music, there are times. Nate, shout out, fucking love you, bro. We gotta find a day to go over plugins and music and shit, and I gotta find a day to come up there, or a weekend to come up there. I'll text you. We'll figure something out. Sometimes, like with Reflections, what I did, I can't remember which song it was, that I was like, something like minorly inconvenient happened to me. Like I think somebody canceled plans on me. They're like, oh, I can't go, whatever. And I was like, all right, whatever. And you know me, I was hurt as fuck because how dare you cancel plans last minute with me? Do you not like me anymore? Do you not love me? Do you hate me? Are you mad at me? And I was like, why am I being so overdramatic? Why don't I pretend that that's what happened and I'll write a song about it? Yeah, I was like, why am I being so overdramatic? Why don't I take that and write a song about it? And then I did. I wrote an entire breakup song because somebody canceled plans on me.
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
And I was like, I blew it out of proportion for like a good half an hour, made the song, wrote the song, made the beat, everything, got ready to mix it in like an hour and a half. And then just like, okay, I'm cool.
Oh yeah. For me, inspiration kind of depends on. We kind of touched on it a little bit earlier too. Just sometimes I think of a cool song title and then I can, conceptualize the theme, or sometimes I hear a melody that I like and I'm like, I think I can do that in my own way. It comes from a lot of places, but you have to be patient and kind of wait for it to come to you and not force it. And then
you can't rush inspiration.
Yeah,
I usually rush it. I'll take the song and I'll start working on it, and then I'll get I'll get frustrated and I'll go, fuck it, I don't even want to do this song anymore. About a month or two later, because I don't name anything unless I'm like real into it. I don't name the file, and I'll go back and be like, "What's this?" And I go, "Oh, I can't believe I abandoned that. Let's work it."
I got struck with inspiration right before we got in here, and Prominent hopped in right as I was picking up my guitar. I was like, "Wow, that was quick. I wasn't expecting."
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you deal with it.
And I'm sorry I fucked up your inspiration.
And then no, you're good. I was able to get it down tracked real quick. I have the basic idea. So, Casual asked a question. I want to hear from each the song that makes you think of your childhood. I would say for me is I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys. That's when I was like, oh, I can write music. I can write music. Such a good song. Such a good song. Go ahead.
For me, one song that makes me think of my childhood, definitely you guys don't know this song. It's called Ocean Drive by Michael Langton.
Wrong answer.
Saxophone player.
Nope, it's I Want It.
I can put whatever answer I want.
I Want It That Way by Backstreet Boys. I know that was your childhood song too.
How are you gonna assume? How are you gonna assume I don't know that song, Prominent?
Yeah, what is your problem, Prominent? What is your problem?
Do you know the song?
What's your problem?
No, but that's not the point.
It is the point because you don't know the song.
No, but it's like that's like saying you probably don't know about wiping the tip.
No,
because
I know damn well y'all don't know smooth jazz like I do. I know y'all long enough. And it's like, no, we don't listen to jazz like that.
Why? Just because I look like a lesbian doesn't mean I can't enjoy smooth jazz?
What does that have to do with anything?
What do you mean? You're just gonna assume I know nothing about jazz? You like jazz?
You like jazz, kids? What was your song? I'm sorry, I was too panicked. What was your song, Prominent? I'm sorry, please repeat it.
It's called Ocean Drive by Michael Langton.
You mean Michael Jackson? I know that song.
No.
Yeah. I use LinkedIn every time I want to quit my job.
I do love Michael Jackson, but it's not him.
In Ocean Drive. I use LinkedIn all the time. Oh, that's funny. No, I don't know that song. I'd have to hear it, unless it were in your playlist that you shared with me a long time ago.
I did kind of make my little my little ad song or whatever within the stream.
Oh yeah.
The ending of that is kind of based around it a little bit.
That
exactly.
A little bit. You freaking frick. Yoltzin. Childhood song. Yoltzin. Answer the question. Are you going to answer the question? Yoltz.
Yeah, I'm going to answer the question.
Wow,
so I think the song that I think the song that I would probably choose. And that's the song.
Mail.
Gross.
You've got mail.
Just the cheese in the middle of it.
Dummy, yeah.
Okay.
You're my favorite kind of cheese.
What was it?
Despite the fact that I think Maroon 5 absolutely fucking sucks.
Thank you.
Anything.
So much. Thank you. All due respect.
No, anything after songs about Jane, I didn't like. I mean, there's a few of them in there that I thought were tolerable. Some of them I really like, but like just majority aren't great. But that whole album kind of reminds me of that time. Now, if you want to like something that I go out of my way to listen to occasionally, not in a good way, a song that reminds me of my childhood is AJR's My Play. I cry every time I hear it.
I don't know that song.
AJR.
I don't know.
AJR is a band.
every time.
Yeah, so it's about their parents' divorce.
Oh damn!
And like everything that had to do like with how the song was written, I felt that. Like I felt like I lived that, and I was like, that's not okay.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. I'm sorry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to offer up an idea. I think that we should. Who do you think should win Album of the Year? I know it's kind of early, but who do you think we should give Album of the Year to?
Out of the three of us,
Nah, just in general.
I don't even have an album.
I think-
I can't say shit.
Right.
Album of the Year.
I don't know, dude. I don't listen to a lot of music, to be honest with you.
Are you talking about like in terms of like music that's
but
been released this year?
No, if they just
Or are you talking about just in
if
general?
they just said Album of the Year, who is it? I think the answer should be Flo Rida. I think they should give him Album of the Year for not.
I just disconnected him from the Discord. Don't even worry about it. He'll
Oh,
jump
okay,
back.
that was
Who
fair.
booted me?
I did. I did.
I'm gonna-
Flow right
I will
up,
pee in your underwear.
and I will
Flow
not
right up.
wipe
Come
Nah,
on
it.
now,
listen.
And I will not wipe it.
No, listen. I have reasons. I have my reasons. We should
Oh,
give.
That's a good one. She said,
Uh,
"Don't bring him back." Oh,
Nah.
hilarious.
I think we need to give Flo Rida Album of the Year for not putting out an album this year. That was very nice of him. It was very nice of him to not put out an album, and I think that he should get the
So now
award
you're
just
trying
for
to switch
simply
on
not even
narrative.
trying.
Okay,
I think that-
that's a little bit of a
Nope, I think-
misleading thing for you to say.
No,
Misleading.
I
of
don't
you
think
to
so.
say.
Shut up.
Shut the hell up. You can't say.
Come
The
on,
person
come on.
putting out
Don't
the
don't be
album.
like the guy. Don't be the guy like that.
Look, can we just start on a blank page? I've been a little misleading. Yeah. Here, have a Cola Coca.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I like how
Here we
all
go,
your
man.
songs have just innuendos. Eyes.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of one of my goals is to be able to make little innuendos. So,
really is.
and
I can't do that. All of mine are like one word to cold.
Mine are just like concepts. Like
you could do that. You could,
No me mensaje.
What? I don't know what you're speaking there.
No me mensaje. What, you don't speak Taco Bell?
I don't believe in Taco Bell. I only believe in a few of their menu items.
What is okay? I got a question.
Oh god.
What's
I
the
don't-
proudest song you ever wrote? If you sat down and look at every word you've written on page,
I mean,
what do you think is your best written? Maybe not performed, maybe not turnout, just in terms of words to paper.
That's tough.
I would say one of
Very
mine
different.
has to be. I think that Layers Between has to be up there for me. That I'm just working on. It's not out yet, but I think that No Me Mensaje has to be up there for me. So I started learning Spanish a couple of years ago because I love the language. I love being able to
Spanish
flip
so
between a language in like everyday conversation. Meta de mis huevos en tu boca. I think that it's a nice language, and for those of you that speak Spanish, you got it. Anyway,
español es muy piquito, pero yo estoy aprendiendo.
I don't speak Japanese. Can we get it? Like, I don't. Can you translate?
I said I don't. My Spanish is real little, but I'm still learning. But I am learning.
poco español. You didn't get what I said, did you?
No.
Okay, cool.
I
For anybody that
Oh,
did,
from my
know you was talking
childhood.
shit, but it's all good.
Oh, casual.
um,
The song from my childhood is "I Want It That Way" by Backstreet Boys. It's a great song. I would even argue that it's better than a Bohemian Rhapsody. Just saying.
Queen is overrated.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Who
Queen
wants to sit
is
there-
It is.
all right. Listen,
I'm
all right,
still
so
sick of
listen,
hearing
hold
Bohemian
on,
Rhapsody.
hold on,
It's a good
hold
song,
on, hold
but
on.
it's
It's a
Listen,
good
hear me out.
song, Yeah, but
In terms of like where a good band, a really good band, like I think Queen is a really, really good band. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. I think they're where they deserve to be. Here, people put them here. That's too much. You're doing too much. Here, bring it back. Like absolutely, I think that we should be praising them. I think the Queen is an amazing band. I love what they do, the stories they tell. I love everything about it. But shut up. Shut up. People who like Queen
I
make
can't wait
me
to
hate
see
Queen.
what Casual says. Woo!
People who like Queen make me hate Queen. I just it's too much. They make incredible music.
Yoltzin's gonna get me completely unfollowed. He's gonna get me canceled here.
I like what.
No, I'm with you on
Shut up,
Queen.
casual.
I'm with you on Queen. I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of Queen, to be honest.
I don't care
and
to
it's
listen
not that
to
I'm.
him. Like,
It's not that I'm not a big fan. I mean, I don't go out of my way to listen to him because that's just I don't want to listen to that. But for me, it's too much. Like
Oh,
they're
trust me,
pushed
I
as
know.
like the greatest band to ever perform live or like whatever, but I don't.
It's
think that
there's always
they-
those songs that people push too damn much, and it's like, oh, it's such a good song. And I'm
Queen-
just like, no, the fuck.
Queen
it's
is
not.
a band that everybody will throw a song in your face. Everybody has a Queen song to throw in your face and tell you it's the best song ever. It's the best song ever. But it's like
no, the fuck, it's not.
no.
no,
Way
the fuck,
to
it's
Yeah.
not.
pass the energy. Yeah, it's just. It's
I think people take Queen and they push them because they've had the longevity. Just because you have longevity doesn't mean you need to be regarded as the best band ever. And that's just how people like. I just think that people hold them to
I think it's
too
just,
high of a
I
standard.
think Queen is. Oh frick! I don't know. Kind of like.
I have a lot of respect for Queen.
I think a Queen is a symptom, not a cause. If what I mean by that, it's just like another
Yeah.
one of those things out there that's like it stands the testament as to why classic rock lovers kind of can be a little bit irritating sometimes. So they're just like
yeah,
Yeah, because
but
like,
when they
Queen's
say-
like one of
when
those
they say-
bands that like.
face.
they say it's the best era of music that will ever exist. I'm like, please stop, please.
just because
Yes,
and they're like the
yes, it was
music.
It was changing, but there is so much more better music happening now.
Oh, music nowadays
In my
sucks. It's so repetitive. Have you not heard half the shit from the 90s?
Yeah,
You're thinking
Do
of
you
the
not
mainstream
listen?
stuff, though.
Yeah.
Me?
Well, I
All
mean,
the
not only
mainstream
that,
stuff is repetitive as hell.
But,
Yeah, but-
the stuff that they tell you is better than now's music was all mainstream.
that's what I'm wondering too.
That's like when
So it's
people are like,
Yeah,
when
all the
people
stuff
are
back
like,
then was
underground
mainstream
stuff back
too.
Then.
when everybody's like, the Beatles are so good. I don't like the Beatles. That is not
don't
my
either.
type of music at all. I'm sorry.
I don't like the Beatles. They
I
get
have a
on my
lot of
nerves.
respect for the Beatles and what they've done, what they've accomplished.
Yeah,
I do not like
the music's just not for me.
Right.
Yeah.
But back when it was popular, that was the popular. That's what was there. And then somebody
Right.
was saying, well, this music had nothing on my music when I was younger. Well, of course it doesn't, because you didn't grow up with that.
Yeah.
It's like
And
it's
it
like
does
those
depend
same
on your
people that
experience.
like really complain about like how like the people that's like, oh, this version of hip hop is so much better than this now's hip hop. But it's like you got to look at it in a different perspective. Like it's two different types of hip hop
Yeah.
nowadays. Like you got the lyrical hip hop, like the beats are like they're okay, but the lyrics are fucking going hard as shit, but it makes the song great. And then you got the other music, it's like based around like melodies and like party music,
Mhm.
So the lyrics, they don't really matter in that case, but if you got a good beat and the lyrics are flowing with it, people are gonna be like, oh, this is a good ass song.
That's like, let's take some beef here. Let's
Depends
compare.
on the era. It was good for that time, but this time
Let's compare, because I make this comparison back when the beef was big. Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
yeah,
Drake
those are
makes a
exactly
certain-
those are a perfect example right there. What I'm talking
But-
about.
Drake makes a certain type of music for a certain type of fan.
Yeah,
he
he makes
makes
like pop, he
music
makes
that
like hits and stuff like
aesthetic-
that
It aesthetically sounds pleasing. That's the music
for the
he
crowd.
makes.
Yeah,
He don't say shit. He doesn't say anything worthwhile. I think I can't believe I'm about to say this. I'm not a huge fan of Kendrick's music because to me it does more than sound good. Like Kendrick is one of the best writers
I love Kendrick
ever.
I love a lot of his stuff.
Ever. If you want to listen to some good ass writing, you listen to Kendrick. It doesn't.
one of my
his
favorite
music
albums by him
doesn't.
is "To Pimp a Butterfly." I love that album.
His
Damn,
music
freaking
wasn't-
Mad City, all of it.
His
Mhm.
music isn't built to be aesthetically pleasing like Drake's is. He tells a story. He doesn't
Hey,
always
I was just
follow.
about to say that.
He doesn't always follow a rhyme scheme that sounds good. Like he doesn't. But he tells a story. He gets his point across. He uses music to get his point across. Drake makes music for 14-year-old girls.
I know where the hotline bling.
Hey, I like.
You ain't gonna hear Kendrick singing.
Hold up. I did like Hotline Bling. Okay, I don't know.
It was
about
catchy.
Any
I
other
will admit
stuff,
that it was
but
catchy.
I'll be cringe and say Hotline
That was like a
Bling is
catchy tune that
decent.
caught my ear. I'm not gonna lie.
That's one of the things I like about
But still,
4
like, it's
inches
still,
of
like-
average on Harmfree's channel. 4 inches is average. That's
Right.
so good, dude. Absolutely.
I don't
It's a
know, because I
catchy
listen to
tune,
some
but it's not lyrical,
some
though.
Drake and I like it, but like
It's not
for
lyrical,
me
though,
as
like
somebody
the Kendrick
as a
stuff.
neurodivergent who has to like brainstem a lot, sometimes Kendrick doesn't hit because that's not what his music is supposed to do.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for him because of what his music does and what he's been able to accomplish in his time as an artist. And I think that's fucking great. Like, I love Kendrick. I have a lot of respect for Kendrick Lamar. But to me, if I'm listening to music for sound to fill a certain space in my head, he's not the guy. But that doesn't mean he's not one of the best artists to come out of the game. I've been meaning to say that in a public space for a long time. Drake fucking sucks. I do have to say that for anybody that thinks that I'm on Drake's side, Drake fucking sucks.
I'm not a big.
I don't
I've never
care.
really listened to
Drake
Drake.
makes-
I couldn't really get into
Drake makes music for the girls he tries to talk to.
You mean the underage girl he tries to talk
14-year-old girls.
Oh,
That's his
God.
demographic.
to?
Let's not go.
Yeah, we're not
there.
gonna get into that, but yeah,
That's a little
we're not gonna get
sketch.
into it.
I got to go way back here. Q put a few of my songs have gotten made as cope songs. I've been pretty proud of them afterwards, though. Do you have songs like that?
Absolutely.
Have got made as cope songs.
Yeah. Like I don't know if
Like
she's
songs that I've made that have been
Yeah, so
used as
I'm
cope
not
songs.
sure if she's referencing made or listened, but yeah, we've all had some cope songs. I think now I look back at some of them, I'm like, oh, cringe.
I mean, like, when I look back at all of my music, if I go back to my discography and I go all the way back and I look at No More, No More was the first time I really put my foot down and said, I don't want to play no more. I can't stay no more. You know,
These
it's
questions.
all I make music that copes all the time. Like Cold was when I decided that I had to start, treating people cold. Like, you're gonna get the same respect you got from me.
Yeah.
When I remastered Ghosted for like the third time.
Mhm.
That song stood in my discography so often because of what it meant to me. Waiting, just leave. If you don't want to be here, don't play games, just leave. Like, all of my music is like that. What you say is about wanting to go out and have a good time, not thinking about it.
Casual said Drake found fame because of his lyrics. Just because he decided to become more mainstream doesn't mean he has less talent. He's chasing a check when Kendrick is more about his passion, but Drake proved recently with his beef raps that he can write lyrics. It's just not his style.
But he sold out. He sold out the second he stopped writing music to write music. He sold out the second, and you know what? I'll tell you, it was the Tuesday Slide.
I don't know any of this. I didn't follow the beef,
Tuesday Slide
the lore. This
was
is
a
all
song
fresh to me.
that was
I'm just
built to go viral. Who cares if he sold out? No, who cares if he sold out? You're right. Get your money. But don't claim to be genuine. Do not come out here.
Yeah.
That's like, do not claim to be genuine. Don't claim to be like I'm best in the game. I'm the best. You suck.
Like,
To somebody like
over here
Kendrick
saying,
Lamar,
like,
when you sold out making the fucking Tuesday Slide, if you listen to it, it was built to go viral. The song's what, 4 minutes long? The hook is like 7 seconds, and it's repeated how many times through the song? It was built to go viral. What was that song he did? Kiki, Do You Love Me? That song built to go viral.
Oh yeah, that was
And Bling built to go viral. He's making music to go viral and make money. Nothing wrong
he's a
with
hit
that.
maker, basically.
But you could be sold out and not washed up.
That depends, though.
Uh,
I mean, some
He's,
people they chose to go that route, and now they're making tons more money of it. They get more fame and everything, but it's not the same artist as people originally loved when they first came out.
Bruno
Like when
Mars
Drake
is a
first
good
came out,
example
some
of
of
that,
his
too.
music, I was like, okay, like I can vibe with Drake a little bit, but the stuff nowadays, it's only like occasional hits that I can vibe with. But most of his music now, I don't care for, like, at all.
Think about this one too. Another one that sold out. Bruno Mars.
I never
Bruno Mars.
cared for
You think so?
Bruno Mars
Mars
is very talented, but I
on.
don't like his
Come
stuff.
on. Bruno Mars went from I'll have her home at 10, sir, to I threw her out at 10, bitch. I don't know where she is. And it seemed like a fine line. And as soon as he hit that, that's when I think that he really became super mainstream. He had Grenade, Just the Way You Are.
Terrible.
Those songs did
terrible.
well.
Bad songs.
I disagree. I like the songs. But But when he started,
shut up. Nobody cares.
when he started, and Harmfree, I don't think that he's more obscure simply just because he's not mainstream. The thing is, and a lot of artists do this. Artists will grind
Sorry,
music out. So
I mean respect, no disrespect.
When it comes to artists that make it in an industry the way Bruno Mars has made it, Bruno Mars started out grinding the music. He was grinding the music out. He did what he had to do. He got the music. He got one radio hit, then another radio hit, then another, and then his name started to pick up. He started to pick up, and then he figured out, if I flip it and I go the other direction,
instead of being like the good guy, like I'm gonna cry for these girls, he became like, oh,
soon as he
these
switched
bitches,
it,
like,
yeah, as soon as he flipped that, he got more popular because he hit a different group of people that made him more popular.
Right. That's why he started going towards the music that he's doing now, like with the whole like Silk Sonic thing, more poppy-ish. Like it's still like a good style that he did. I kind of like the flow that he did with it, like not lyrics wise, but just like
and that's just
the music
that I just sent.
But I did see that he like kind of sold out in a bit too, because he ended up changing his demographic in a way, and then because of that, it blew him up. So it's not the same Bruno, but it's still Bruno, I guess.
Just because somebody's still like, and we're not questioning that these people are talented or not. I think Drake sucks because I hate his music. I hate what he's turned into. But that's me. I'm not saying that everybody else has to hate them. Like how I say Maroon 5 sucks.
I don't like Maroon 5.
You don't have to agree with me. You're wrong, but you don't have to agree with me. But I don't know. And Chance the Rapper is an interesting case also, because Chance when Chance started doing the Wild 'N Out shit, when he did that episode of Wild 'N Out, there was a reporter on MTV that critiqued his newest album at the time. And he said, this ain't Chance. This isn't a good album. This isn't what we would expect from him. And Chance and his managers threatened to pull him off of Wild 'N Out because of the review. They said, if you don't pull the plug on the review, he's not doing Wild 'N Out. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. And it's like, because he told you your music wasn't what everybody thought it was.
Right.
That's why I don't have any respect for Chance the Rapper anymore. And his verse on the fuck song was it? Hot Shower, I think it was, or his song there.
Oh
sucked.
Yeah.
No, it's not Hot Shower.
When I first heard
Holy.
No, that's what it is.
Holy, the song with Justin Bieber. He featured
that song though with Hot Shower with the baby and the other dude. I don't remember who it was.
Hot Shower was a good
heard
song.
that song and I was like, yeah, but it didn't feel like Chance though when I heard it.
No,
it was a decent song, but it didn't feel like Chance.
I liked the song, yeah. But when it comes to like when he did that feature on is it called Holy? Is that the song
that
he did with Justin Bieber? His verse fucking sucked. When it comes to rappers, your verse sucked, bro. It sucked. It was awful. There's a difference between saying you have no talent and I don't like you, I don't think that you're doing well as an artist, but that's opinion, versus you objectively suck. His verse objectively sucked. Go listen to that song. I'll send it to you guys. Listen to it and tell me it didn't suck.
Like, there was another song he was featured in with Childish Gambino. I don't know if you know that song. It was old song though.
I don't know why, but I don't like Childish Gambino. I don't know what it is about him. I don't like the guy. It's something about his aura. He just has this aura about him. Yeah, I don't like it.
Like I really like this music during the early days when he was producing. Like one of my favorite albums from him is that Kawaii album or whatever it is, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know about Donald Glover. It's something
about
him.
It's wishy washy. It's a hit or miss with him.
I don't think I know Donald Glover. I don't think I know.
I think he's another one that uses his music.
Donald Glover is the actor. Childish Gambino is the rapper.
Okay. Yeah, I think that he's one of those kind of like I would say kind of along the lines of Kendrick. Don't shoot me over this. I think that he more so tries to use his platform to tell a story and just bring attention to light. Use it as a platform to speak your mind, instead of trying to be an artist that makes mainstream listenable, streamable, loopable music. I think that's where the difference comes in with him. I do have a lot of respect for him because he talks his shit, but again,
That just indicates to me how uncultured I am with so much music, because I just have no idea who so many of these artists are. I'm just like, oh, I listen to music. I probably
Passion
also
over
don't.
popularity. I love that, Harmfree.
I like that too.
I really like
I hate that. No,
Eyes,
I'm
get
kidding.
out.
I'm
You just
kidding.
gotta be different, huh?
I'm kidding, bro. I'm all about it. I'm kidding.
No, but like that's what I like about this community in general. Like we care about we care about the music. Like we don't give a fuck about the popularity at all. Like because we want to get better, and we know that the popularity is gonna come.
I don't know
that we're all good
I
musicians.
don't know.
You know?
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I would love for one of my projects to take off that I could live comfortably doing it as a job.
I mean, isn't that the goal though? We're trying to live comfortably
If I
just
made
on
listen,
music.
and like when we talk about fame, people talk about fame, like how famous you want to be. If I made like, I mean, I can't say I don't. I'd love to be famous. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
There's a reason I have this tattoo. I mean, we've talked about this personally off call. We've talked about what this tattoo means to me, why I have it, and music. I can safely say on multiple occasions has saved my life. It's something I'm very open about, and what I try to do is I try to reach as many people as I possibly can who are going through the same things as I am. That will hear my music and go, I get it now. I get it. This is something worth like pursuing, getting into, listening. It hears me. It feels me. It's like why I'm so obsessed with Sleep Token right now. Everything I hear, I feel because of the way he writes, the way that he writes and the way he delivers. There's so much passion in it. And everything that I hear, I'm like, holy shit. It drives me. It drives me forward. The music keeps me going. It makes me want to just keep doing what I'm doing. And I want to have the impact I've had, like the impact that like Snow the product has had on me. I want that for everybody. I want to be able to make a song and have millions of people go, I'm choosing to fight and continue because I heard this song. That to me is the best thing, like the best feeling in the world. Like people that like I had somebody.
No, I feel that 100%. Like
when I went
like,
when I was in high
about,
school.
Oh, sorry.
When I was in high school, I just graduated, and this is when I was making like 4 or 5 videos a week for YouTube. I was like every night, like Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. new video. And I had somebody that I knew in high school because my high school, like of grades 7 to 12, was like fucking 400 people. It was small. Like I graduated with 66. Like
Damn.
it was yeah, it was tiny. Tiny. And so like everybody knew each other, but I didn't talk to many people. And I got a text on, I think it was Facebook, from somebody that I knew. Like I knew this person. I knew the name. I could put a face to the name. I've seen them. Never once have had a conversation with them. And it was a text that read something along the lines of, one of my friends showed me your videos and I'm sitting here and I'm watching them and it's like it's helping. Like I'm going through a lot and it's really helping. Like what you're doing is helping, and that what I felt that day has pushed me to make more, make better, do better, and just make stuff. Like I want to make stuff that helps people. I want to do things that help people that were in situations like mine. Like I went through it. I would like to go through it and power through it to be able to help you get through it as well. And then I hope that me having that mentality pushes somebody else to do that. I hope I inspire artists of another generation one day to make the same music, the same thought process, the same, I want to help people be better. I want to help people get through their tough times. The only reason I would want to be famous is to have that impact on people. Like, I don't care if 1 million people know my name and show up at my doorstep, or if I got a legion of people that would like arch behind me for some reason. I want a legion of people that are inspired to pick up music.
Yeah, they hear your music and they're just like
I want somebody to listen,
and they just starts like driving them a little bit just to do their own thing,
Yeah, I want somebody to listen to my music.
Your music.
I want to have the impact on somebody that like starts going to the gym to better themselves, become like a wrestler or a bodybuilder or somebody who listens to my music and is inspired to draw, or is inspired to write their own music, or is just inspired to get out of bed. That's what I want to do. If I have 1 million followers on Spotify because every single one of them got inspired because of it, that's it. I don't care if you listen to my music and just like, it's pretty good. Like, I don't care about that. I don't give a fuck. But it's how many people it's how many people
Actually
feel
sit
the
down and take
impact
the
of what
time to
you
like
say.
listen to
Yeah,
it, you know.
you know, when I make music about just like walking out of people's lives, like cold and no more, I hope somebody hears that and is it like, if somebody's in a tough situation and hears, I don't want to take that either. I don't want to deal with that. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna do what's best for me. I hope somebody takes my rebellious attitude and throws it in somebody else's face and goes, this is not what's best for me. And just starts living their life the way they're supposed to. That's all that I'm
Right.
hoping from any of this. I really hope that somebody hears what I have to say, takes it to heart and goes, this is my life. You know, kind of in the same way that listening to music got me to take control of my own life.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love that for somebody.
Yeah. I think as musicians, we aspire to that a lot if you're serious about it. You know, if you're.
Because there's, I
Like
mean, and
sometimes you
there's
make a
definitely
song.
music that I make for myself. Like, there's
Oh
music that
yeah,
I'm
of
like,
course.
I just want to fucking bump to this. There's sometimes that I make music that I think that I would have fun rapping on stage, and there's nothing wrong with that. But just, I think overall, being real to yourself and the people around you, I think is the realest thing you can do for it.
Mm-hmm. 1000%.
When it comes to inspiration, honestly, like, because I'm in the same boat as you, Yoltzin. Like, I want people to be able to hear my music and just sit down and listen to it. Because the way I write my music, I want to tell a story. I want to tell my story, essentially, my stories that I have throughout my
Right.
life, and I want people to hear that and people to understand where I'm coming from in a way, and hopefully they can be able to relate to it in some way. And when I mean relate to it, I'm not talking about in a typical sense like you have with like a lot of like mainstream hip hop, pop songs, things like that people can relate to, you know. But I'm talking about like really deep stuff that they really have to like sit down and listen to and not just be able to skate by, you know.
Right.
And with that,
It's
when people actually
nice.
listen to it and they say it's like, oh man, I really liked what you did with this, like it really gave me a little bit of confidence to do this, you know. And it's just like that makes me feel really good. That makes me know I'm doing exactly what I intended, you know. Instead of just people like, okay, it sounded pretty good, and like, and that's just it.
You know, I
It's like, what did you
love
like about it? Oh, I don't know. I guess.
I love when people listen to me because I'm a lyric listener. If you send me a song, I'll look at the lyrics and I'll think them and I'll digest them. I will take every lyric that is written and I will try to decipher what it's supposed to mean. And that's just how I am. I like to know what the song's about, what the experience is. I love when I make a song and someone goes, "That was deep. That was very deep." Like, I can tell that hurt you. Like, I make music about being hurt because it's something that I'm trying to heal from, and I know that other people need to hear from it too. So I'm hoping that like what I say resonates with somebody else. And when people come up to me and they say, "What you said really struck a chord. I felt that."
Right.
That's what it's all about. It's all about like listening to the music that understands you, that feels like it's speaking to you. And that's, I mean, like I said, I want to write a banger. I want to write something they can play in the club. Like, I want to write something that I can grind on somebody too. But at the same time, I want to write something that reaches people. Especially because like I listen to all kinds of different music with all kinds of different meanings. So like I'd like to, you know, listen to music that get me pumped or
Right.
get pumped to or just get inspired from. It's why I make the mix of music that I make, because all of it's real to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, somebody called me out once. I wrote a song. It's done. It's ready to go. It's called Stunting on 'Em. And somebody was like, "Man, you're not rolling out with that kind of cash." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not." But for where I was at the time and where I am now, like, the song was about
Arm free.
being able to go out and do what you want. Like, at the time, I went out, I paid for dinner. I was the ride. I was the gas money. I was, you wanted it, you got it. You know, I'm that type of friend. If I have it, you do too. I'm that kind of person. And when I wrote Stunting on them, I had somebody ask me, they were like, "You don't make that much money. You work at McDonald's. You don't have it like that." I said, "Yeah, but I have it like that. Like everything I have, I've earned. You know, I built I built my computer. I built my setup. I paid everything here. I've paid for, paid for, paid for, paid for everything because I worked my ass off to get it. You know, I didn't have to spend the money on other people. I didn't have to do all that, but I did. And that's what it felt like to me was that I could, so I did, but I still made sure that I made it work. I make it work with everybody. Gonna rap about laser guns and multiverses. Hell yeah.
I'm waiting for Luna to drop his mixtape, man. He keeps talking about it. Because Luna's a rapper too.
Have you guys ever been moved by music in a language that you don't speak?
I will. We can get to that here in a second. I want to go back to what Casual said about Sleep Token, because I just want to make a quick comment about it. I think that the instrumental is what helps make that. Like, I'll listen to like their instrumentals in the background and I'll hear it because like I can dissociate things from other things in music, and the instrumental helps. It brings it all together. It's like the lyrics. The lyrics bring the instrumental together. The instrumental brings the lyrics together. It helps that way too.
It's a big part of music, is even if you don't understand.
Yeah, everything.
The music behind it is very important. How it's composed.
So I love listening to beats. There are times that I'll dissociate the lyrics just to listen to the beats.
Oh, same.
Sleep Token. Listening to Sleep Token made me want to pull my drum set back out because there's a couple songs that I want to know how to play. I want to teach myself how to play. It's part of why I bought a guitar. I just want to learn how to play. To me, that's important. The instrumental is just as important as the music most of the time.
Oh, hell yes.
You gotta set your tone. You gotta set everything. You gotta set the emotion. You gotta set them up for what they're about to hear. Yeah, you gotta. It's like telling a story and telling them you're in the woods.
This is exactly what I've been saying.
What about the woods? Yeah, set your scene. That's it's just as important. You can tell the story, but if nobody knows the details in the background, you know.
But to answer Chaos's question, I almost read in too deep into it at first because I was like, "Oh yeah, musical language," but no, I know she was talking about like just language in general. But I can name plenty of songs that I've like listened to that I didn't understand like lyrics wise, but they still kind of moved me in a way. I'm not gonna name any specific songs, but when it comes to genres in general, one genre that I can think of is city pop.
City pop.
Yeah. It's kind of like in a way like Japanese like jazz fusion in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And just mostly because like when it comes to that, even though I don't understand the lyrics, I can it still like brings a lot of city pop that I listen to. It brings like a really good like positive vibe with like the way they make the song and all that stuff. I love city pop. Like it really like just lifts my spirits a little bit, you know. It kind of just makes me dance and all that stuff.
Dang, I don't know city pop.
And it kind of has like a bright overall tone to it. That's what I love about it.
You also were going to ask.
Harmfree understands.
You were also going to ask a question of both of us before we went into chat questions. What was that? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Dang. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know what city pop is. I'm not familiar with it. At least I don't.
I'll have to show you some stuff later.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, I got you.
Feels like driving in the big city with the windows down. Yeah.
You don't know city pop Chaos? I figured you of all people would know, but okay.
Do you have an answer to the question about language? Because I have a rather in-depth answer.
My question,
I'd rather let you get yourself.
Because I haven't heard a lot of songs in different languages, but I think the thing I said in chat was the closest thing I've felt was probably something that Enya did for Lord of the Rings. Like some of the music that is done in that series is really well done.
So I'm a very explorative type person, and if there's something that I can learn, I'm gonna learn it. Back in 2018, 2019, when I discovered Snow the Product, she's a Latina rapper, and just the way that she rapped just got me really interested in the Spanish language. I'll keep in mind I'm 4 years deep into taking French, so took 4 years of French in high school just to not use it and learn Spanish outside, which, by the way, their grammar rules are kind of similar, especially when you're first learning. So it was easy for me to pick up Spanish. But listening to Snow the Product really got me to like want to not only learn Spanish, but speak Spanish, sing Spanish, rap Spanish, understand. So now when I hear something in Spanish, I dig so deep into the language, what's being said, and how it pertains to the song. Because you can say anything in another language and slap it in a song and go, that sounds good, but nobody knows what you're talking about. But if they look it up and you're like, that doesn't make any sense. It's practical use also. So like when you listen to what somebody has to say when they're switching languages is very important. And I feel like that's adds an extra layer to what you're writing. It's the reason that I like to rap and sing and occasionally in Spanish. It's the reason I wrote No Me Mensaje the way that I did. No Me Mensaje translates to don't message me. Don't text me. Do not, like, the hook is don't call me. Don't text me. I don't want to hear from you anymore. I don't want to do this dance. And that's pretty much word for word the hook.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do this anymore. Do not speak to me. And I'm going out of my way to tell you that in a different language. I don't want you anymore.
Be the reason why. No, I was kidding.
You know,
I don't want to do this anymore.
It hits so much harder for me to be able to write it in a different language. And the only reason I wrote it in the hook in Spanish was to prove something to myself, that I could learn something new and practically apply it on something that I was already
feel like that's
learning.
like a strong thing for us too. Like for musicians, if they want to learn a new language, listen to more like Spanish music. If you want to learn more French music.
When I listen to Snow the Product and I make sure that I have the lyrics pulled up and I have Translate right next to it, and I know what's going on, what's being said. You know, Genius is my best friend sometimes. I like to know not only what was said, but if it means anything that I don't know about, or if it has a slang meaning that I might be missing. Like Snow's song, Que Oso. Que Oso just translates to what bear? You're talking about a bear? Is a bear in the woods? What bear? But Que Oso, in a more slang term, basically means so what? What about it?
Right.
So it's a lot deeper than just understanding it's a different language. It's a lot deeper than just it's a lot deeper than just seeing what's happening. It's
really
so
about,
much more than that. It's understanding. It's understanding what she's writing about, you know, and the way that Spanish is presented, if you present it correctly, it is beautiful. And I want to get to the point that I'm speaking relatively fluently in between, just like switching into Spanish, out of Spanish, into English, out of English. And writing helps me do that. Like, one of my favorite things to do is I bought this.
It's good practice for you, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So what I did was, sometimes when I'm writing a song, say I want to write like empty, I have the Spanish to English dictionary, and what I'll do is I'll look up a word and I'll go,
use
cool.
Google Translate.
I don't trust Translate enough.
Translate's pretty rough, actually.
No, it is. I'm just messing with you.
So if I'm like, okay, well, I want to use, this is the word I'm using that means like, that means something, because you got to be careful. Slang in English, because one thing that I've learned is if you use slang in English in Spanish, a lot of times it won't make sense.
Oh yeah, of course. It's
you can't just say whatever. Like, it's not always language to language direct translate.
Right.
So like you have to make sure it makes sense, make sure it stands the test. Can you use it? Like, if I learn a new word, I use it in a sentence, I use it in a question, I exclaim it. I always make sure that I can use that word properly before I write it into a verse or I write it into a hook. And it teaches me, I learn another word. I might learn a couple of words in the process. I might look the word up and it's just a word in a random forum post somewhere that I can, learn more, better context clues, different uses for the word. You learn a lot just picking a word and learning from it and Googling the word. You learn a lot. And it taught me so much more when I just started looking up words and going, I'm going to write about this.
Yeah.
It's so much. Language is so much deeper than that, and being able to, I'm very grateful that I'm able. I'm at a point that I'm able to, use that in another way to be able to reach more people and get my point across.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Bilingual music.
Bilingual music is the best. I think that artists that can speak multiple languages, I think it's really cool. It really tells a lot about their talents and even their upbringing. A lot of people, like some people that learn Spanish as their first language, that now mainly communicate in English because they moved to America or something. And now you hear them speak that language, and then you think and realize they didn't learn that recently. Like, majority of what they're saying was learned later in life. They adapted and kept their roots, and they kept to where they came from. People that rap about where they're from, like, I hear it all the time. There was a song I was listening to, one of the YouTube groups I listened to, the one guy's from Mexico. He says, I live in the States. I was born in Monterrey. That's important. That is so culturally important to people. And I love that. I love that people, like, I came to America, I learned English, but this is who I am. This is me first. This is my family. Es mi familia. I think it's great. I love seeing it. I love seeing people that put their culture into their music too. You know, people that rap about shit that's important, I should say. Like, life experiences and language can be such a bump to what they're trying to say, especially if they're speaking about where they're from.
Right, exactly.
I think it's so much deeper than that.
Translated.
You need to incorporate more sign language in music. Absolutely.
What do you guys think about translated covers? A cover of a song translated into a different language.
It's got to be done right.
I was gonna say, it just depends on how it's done. It has to be done.
You can't translate. You can't just translate a song. I work with somebody, and he's not a musical
Some songs
artist.
don't translate well.
Yeah. Well, it's like Snow the Product, bringing her back. She did a
sponsored by
she
Snow
did
the
a
Product
song.
stream.
I wish.
Right.
I wish. She did a song called Confles, and she said, like, none of it makes sense in English. No soy santa, baby, yo soy la madre faca chancla. I can't remember the rest offhand, but she's like, if you translate it to English, it loses all sting. So if you translate a song like, I'm no saint, fuck a sandal, I'm a rebel, like, huh? Nobody's gonna listen to that.
You'd be surprised. Kids being raised off of Cocomelon these days. Come on.
Oh my god.
Cocomelon.
No, it just depends on how it would be done. I haven't really listened to a lot of translated covers. It just depends on what it is.
There's one that I always go back to. CS Cheap Thrills. Somebody translated the song into French, and I think it was done very well. And I think about the cover more than I think about the song.
Good, crazy.
And it depends. It depends on who does it, how well done it is, if there's a genre switch at all. If it's like a punk goes pop type of thing, but with language, you got to be careful. Just not Coco Felon.
Coco Felon.
Damn.
Coco Felon is hilarious.
It's gonna be my next album's Coco Felon.
Well, what's next in the pipeline while we kind of wrap up the show for the both of you guys? What do you guys have in the pipeline? Upcoming releases, upcoming projects? Talk about that before we wrap.
As of right now, I don't have anything that's in the pipelines for coming out. I'm trying to figure out what to do for a next single because I have plenty of songs that I could release, but I don't know which one to go for. And that's what I'm just trying to figure out right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have plenty of songs in the works though that could be ready to go out whenever I want them to.
Nah, could help, and I've done this too. Ask your stream. Open up stream and go, I'm gonna pull up a couple different songs to work on. What do you think should come out next?
I think you have a continued one off of Love at First Sight. That would be the good one to. That would be a good one to choose. I think.
Yeah.
Just immediately follow up. You know.
What's like the album version that I'm making of it?
Yeah, or.
It was like the one that I released. That was like a single version.
But I think you have a different song that kind of follows the same vein of Love at First Sight.
Oh, the one right after.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Instead of releasing the same song twice,
An Act of
I would
Love.
keep an album version if you're gonna do an album.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna release the album version as a single. That would be terrible.
Yoltz, I know you.
What about you, man?
You had a couple things. I know you're kind of switching to a YouTube platform and kind of maybe taking a step back from music a little bit. Is that correct?
Not quite. I wouldn't say a step back. If you look at the notepad that I have here, I have so much music done. Like with this last single released, I now have 4 that are completely finished and ready to go. 2 of them are music videos that I'm working on, so I have 2 that I can just drop. So if I took time away, and like the rest of the songs like that I have to record, I want to finish recording Empty. I want to go over a few more lines, mix it, master. Bam, there's another one done. There's one verse that I'm waiting to come back from a feature. 2, sorry. There's Blue Wolf and Rains Falls Red. Those are the 2 that I'm waiting back for. And then I have to record Mine for Hiding Scars. And then we have to that one's gonna take a while to put together, but I'm kind of ahead. Yeah, I have a lot of music in the works, and then there's layers between. I have a song called "See Me Now," "Bite Back," "No Puedo Dormir." There's so much that I have put back that I feel like that I can take time from making music and focus on something else. I want to get back into YouTube videos because I feel like that I can do more with my time.
Yeah.
And in doing more, I can learn more. And I actually picked up a game. I picked up a game today at a local game store of mine that I think is going to be fun to do a couple videos on around Halloween time. Original Xbox game, Grabbed by the Ghoulies.
Oh, jeez.
What the?
So I'm going to
Only
whip my Xbox. Yeah, I'm gonna whip it out. It's supposed to be cross compatible. I did my research, but I want to record a couple videos of it, and I think that it'd be fun to do as a let's play. And I think that going back to doing YouTube is gonna help me kind of refine my roots and where I came from and what I do, because I love what I do now. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like that I have more to offer as a personality. Like, music touches people in a way that other platforms can't. But it's like I said earlier, being able to touch people in other ways, making people laugh, giving people more entertainment. Like, I think that this is more an entertainment route than this is a whatever route I'm taking with music, whatever you'd want to call that. I feel like there are 2 different routes of trying to reach new people or just trying to reach people in general. And I would just like to be able to hone my skills in as a video editor, because it's been a long time since I've constantly done that. And I have ideas and stuff that I want to talk about, that I want to make videos on, that it's not going to work on Twitch. I think that I'm a lot funnier when I can do things in post.
Yeah, it helps. Even some of the bits I do on Twitch, when I edit them in post, I add extras just because it adds to it.
And my editing style, and Prominent, I'll send you the video I sent him too, because I think that's my best video, to be honest, of the 4 that I have on the channel right now. It's just, there's so much, I feel like that I have so much more to offer than just making music. I would love to be able to get out and kind of display my personality more than I have recently.
Yeah.
I'd love to get out and be able to say, this is who I am. I'm a fucking weirdo, but I'm fun to be around.
That's why it's good that you're on the show too. Just
it's
give you
a nice
different insight for other people.
And that's what I like. Like, it's like why you guys do the podcast. It's a different insight. Like, you talk about music, but you get to talk more personally and intimately than you would writing a song.
Yep. 1,000%.
But you can express more in a different way writing a song. It's an extra avenue to get your personality out there and get to talk about it. And I love absolutely chaos. I mean, that's what happened on TikTok. I went 760,000 views on one video, and it blew up from there. And just the weirdos found me. That's like my whole Discord server is just my whole Discord server is my type of weird. So I mean,
go ahead.
I don't know. Like I said, your tribe will find you. Your people will find you. And sometimes, you're not going to do it on your own. You need help. That's why I like collabs so much.
Yeah, you got a crew. But as a writer, are there any deal breakers to whether or not you'd be willing to write a song for another artist? And what would be your dream artist to write for?
Ooh, I have an answer to this one, so I'll wait.
For me, I'm not sure. Like I'm not really opposed to ghostwriting. That's kind of what that depends. It can be called ghostwriting, but I'm not. I've tried to kind of produce for other people. And blessings. Stay blessed, prominent. I've tried to kind of be a producer for another artist and found out that it wasn't really the avenue I wanted to take. I wasn't getting fulfillment out of it. So.
I'm gonna pee while you talk. I'm gonna keep my headphones on so I can.
But if I were to write for somebody, man, that's tough.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's tough. Is it maybe Skrillex? Be cool to write for Skrillex. Maybe
really?
write for Dance Gavin Dance. You know, some of my favorite artists. Or write something for Anthony Green of Circus Survive, so he could sing on top of it. That would be awesome. Just
I don't know who I could be able to write for, honestly. Like, given like the type of music that I have, like, of course, there's like plenty of people I will want to write for, but I feel like I gotta pertain a little closer to their genre of music. And of course, I'm thinking of like a lot more like smooth jazz artists and things like that.
mm-hmm.
But like when it comes to their music, it's just like they know how to put a little more emotion into their stuff when they produce and everything. It's just like,
yeah,
I'm still grasping that fully. Like I've gotten a lot better with it, I feel like, but I feel like there's still a lot more like in-depth stuff I need to learn when it comes to producing the songs that they do, at least.
yeah.
And when it comes to writing, because they know how to write stuff in a certain way that's not too just basic, like when it comes to like jazz songs, for example. Because when it comes to like jazz standards, they follow a certain form, which is like, yeah, they follow a certain form, but like some other songs, they follow a certain form, but they don't go along the lines of like the standard form that you.
Hold on. Pause. You're getting cut out. Yeah, you're good. MKG,
Okay.
Alum Life, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Antiperfectionist community. All right, Prominent, you are good to go again. Whenever I get audio alerts, it cuts out all computer audio, and you are computer audio.
I do want to
okay.
ask because I think I recognize the name. Is that my sister?
MKJ LMA of Life, whatever it is.
Well, welcome,
Yeah,
welcome regardless. Thank you for following. I hope to see you
Welcome on
around
in.
here
I have a feeling I know who
God
that
damn it,
is.
Ice.
Did you finally get your Twitch?
God damn it.
You finally get your Twitch figured out? Welcome
what,
back.
What were you saying, Prominent?
No,
You
your
probably
other one.
lost your train of thought, huh?
Okay. All right. I got
did.
you. I got you.
I'm sorry, dude.
I did lose my
Okay.
No,
all right.
that's
I know.
But
I
the
know
only
who this
reason
is.
I
All right,
stopped
cool.
you is because it was
I can't
cutting
even
your
answer the question
audio.
anymore.
It was cutting your audio. People wouldn't have heard it anymore.
Yeah, you
I
have
can't
it.
even
You
answer
have
the
it
question
duck.
anymore.
All right.
You have it duck audio.
Yeah, I have to have it that way so I can hear it and stuff.
I can't answer the question anymore. I just I completely lost what I was talking about because y'all.
Sorry,
It's not
bro.
your fault.
Sorry, bro.
It's all good.
This is what it
Go
is.
ahead, Yoel, since you had an extensive answer for this.
Well, I have an extensive answer because I read the question wrong, but it leads to another question that I'll ask here in a little bit, and I'll answer my own here in a second. I wouldn't mind writing for more. I'm better off making beats for other people. Like I probably wouldn't write for other people because what I write to me is so personal. Kind of like what Prominent said. To me, it's more personal, so it's like personal experience is to what I write about. So, not that I wouldn't. I mean, who could? The better answer for me is who could I write for? Like, I mean, I could write for like any of like the sad boy artists that do what I do. I could write for like Evan, for example, because we write along the same line. He does streams occasionally where Chad will chime in and be like, hey, I got a line for you. I do that all the time with him and some other artists that are open to that. I don't really have a dream artist that I would want to write for because I don't like writing for other people.
Right.
Like
I don't either, honestly.
I have an experience. So when I worked at McDonald's and I had first started making music, there was a couple people there that were also into music. There was another rapper there, and we were at a party, and he was not on this planet as I could put it. And I'm in the kitchen making fucking brownies because like I don't know, that's just what I wanted to do. So we're out there and we're making brownies, and when I was a rapper, I was mean. My bars would hurt feelings. Like, I listened to one of my old songs the other day, and I was like, oh, you can't say that. That was rude. That was fucking rude. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna put that in another song. And this guy knew this. He knew that I wrote that way, and he knew that what I wrote was hard. Like, it went hard. Like, if I knew what I knew now and wrote like that, good God, the rap scene would be a lot different right now, especially in my town. He came up to me. I'm in the kitchen, and I'm in the middle of making brownies, and he comes up to me, and he goes, "Hey, give me your phone." No. Why? He goes, they want me to freestyle. I said, so what the fuck you need my phone for? He said, I need some of your bars. I was like, get out! Bitch, get out of my kitchen. I'm cooking.
I need some of your bars.
Yeah, he's like, but your bars go hard. I gotta impress them. I said, then think of something. I'm high as fuck. Hi. Bye. Like, get out of here. Don't with that bullshit. Don't tell me you need my bars.
Right.
Like, oh, it's so bad. I don't like writing for other people, and I don't like when people use what I write to an extent. I like, if I say, I have an idea for a line, you know, if you send me something and I go, here's a line, and I, like, if I think that this line could work better, or you can fit it in there somewhere because I think it's clever and it you know, gets a point across, that's one thing. If you say, you're good with wordplay, can you help me word this out better? I've helped people fix their bars. I've helped people who can't quite get the syllables in the bar to stretch it out. It's like writing. I'm real good with writing. You asked me to write 500 words and I only got 36. I'm going to make it 500. I'm good at that. So, like, I'm really good with, you know, with writing and making that happen. But I don't like writing for other people. I don't mind helping people come up with bars, or, you know, flushing out a bar, going, hey, can you help me figure out why this isn't flowing well? I can do that.
Right.
I love doing that. I love when people ask me to do that. But, like, I will not sit here and write a song for you. I can't do it. That is not my cup of tea. It's not something that I do. But who is...
I can't write lyrics. I can't write lyrics because I'm an instrumentalist. I'm a jazz guy. Like, I can't write lyrics. Like, I can write melodies and stuff, but when it comes to, like, actual, like, words down on the bar, like, it's kind of hard for me to come up with them, like, right off the spot, like y'all can.
Shout out to Arlo.
Oh, Dallas,
one of the newer members of the
Dallas
community.
awesome.
Yeah. When we were talking and I said something about doing a collab, because, like, you know me, I'm a collab slut. I'll make a song with just about anybody if they're musically inclined. I shouldn't say that.
If they're
I don't want people that have
you.
I don't want people that I've said no to collabs to think they're not musically inclined or something. I don't want people to think that I'm telling you no because you suck at making music. That's not what it is. When I initially asked Arlo if he would be interested in collabing, he was like, yeah, but I don't write lyrics. I was like, I'll help you write lyrics. That's not a big deal. I'll write a verse and give it to you, and then we can flip it to make it, you know, what you want to say. But, like, I'm not gonna write your fucking lyric.
Key straight up. Hey, Yoltzin, you want to collab? Straight out of nowhere. She's like, yeah.
Right.
That's funny.
I have to do some more of my digging,
by the way,
absolutely.
Yoltzin, that song that we worked on, I was thinking I could finish producing it, but I can send it to you and you can have that song.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I only
because I've thought about it for a while, and it's like, it's a cool ass song that I made, but it doesn't really fit my demographic, I guess. But it's still like a fun ass song. I was like, I want you to have it, honestly, because I feel like it fits you a lot better. You can do more with it than I can.
I think I'm
not used to making like Afro beats type stuff, so
yeah. But look at my look at my discography.
Yeah, but I feel like you would fit better with it than me.
Yeah, but, like, if that's a new avenue you made, that's your song. You made it. I just threw some words on there.
Exactly. But I don't know.
So
I'm not saying it's like an avenue I wouldn't go for. It's just like an avenue I'm not used to, really, because I don't know how to navigate it yet.
I don't know, something. I mean, you tried something new. You never know. You might be able to do something with it.
Yeah.
I'm just the feature in that song. I would feel less comfortable taking it and distributing it for myself because I'm just the feature.
Even though I'm giving it to you?
Yes. But I mean, we can talk about that. We can. I'm sure we can have a better discussion. But that's something best for off of stream.
Yeah, of course.
So who is your dream collab? Not right
Me?
for, not right with, just everybody. If you had to pick
Skrillex.
somebody right now that
Skrillex.
you got, well, Dan, can I get the question out?
Skrillex. Collaborating with Skrillex would be amazing.
Like
Yeah,
that's his dream collab straight up. Like
Anything I do, post-hardcore, country, jazz, EDM, he would be down with it. We would figure it out, and we would work so well together. I'll let you get out the question.
All right, I guess prominent. If you had to pick right here, right now, and they would just say yes, let's make a song. No questions asked, no nothing, no payment, no nothing. Let's just work. Who would that be, prominent?
Prominent does not have his headphones on because he doesn't have time for this podcast anymore.
He doesn't love us.
He really doesn't.
all right.
All right, so my question:
What's your question?
if you could pick somebody to collab with, no money, no fees, no nothing, just they couldn't say no, who would it be? Who would you collab with?
Are you talking about just in general, like anybody, or talking about like somebody within the community?
Anybody.
I mean, I can name a bunch of people I would love to collab with. Like Gerald Albright, Brian Culbertson. I would love to collab with it would be interesting to collab with Luna on a project too. Tend to say Luna. I want to collab with honestly, I don't even know who else, honestly. I'm trying to think of like smaller artists because I can name a bunch of like bigger artists, and it's like, oh, okay, of course you would choose that, you know? Like,
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Is I want to know who
Yeah.
like bigger artists right now you would choose, because I know that there's a lot of smaller artists around here that we can shout out and talk about, but I'm talking like as of right now, bigger artists.
okay, bigger artists. If I absolutely had to choose somebody, it would have to be yeah, Gerald Albright. He's another big famous like jazz saxophonist, and his music is like he dabbles around the smooth jazz, but it's more along the lines of like it's the type of smooth jazz that like really makes you bump your head, you know, like types of smooth that you can like dance to, and like and it has like different vibes with it and stuff. So he can play like a lot of like slower stuff and a lot of like faster stuff at the same time, and stuff that'll just get you going. So it's like I feel like he's one of my biggest inspirations, and I can learn a lot from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because like he's the type of player that I try to like mimic in a way, because he brings the energy out, and even though he's a smooth jazz person, like everybody gets hype about his music, you know. Even though it's not it's not supposed to be hype music, but it still works. But people love his music because of it. So I'm like, I would love to collab with him, because I feel like I got like a similar like high energy when I'm like playing trombone and stuff too. So I could definitely learn a lot from him.
Within the community, I think.
Within the community, though,
I think a community.
I
think an interesting person, because I've collabed with a few people here, and I think it'd be interesting to see what Dallas and I could make. Completely interesting. See what we would.
that's what I said about. That's what I said about Arlo too. I was like, I don't know what we could do, but we could do pretty much anything. I mean, the song that me and Rainfall's Red are doing, it's that. I would have never expected what we're working on.
You and me.
If I had
you and Rainfalls,
yeah. If I had to choose someone to pick, there's a lot of answers because there's a lot of different directions I'd want to take. My number one would probably be Ash Nico. I feel like the sad horny pop, I think, is how I would just kind of describe the song we would make. I've already thought about it. I want everybody to fucking tweet at Ash Nico, and I want to make a song with her called Cuckroach, about some like no good ass shrimp dick ass dudes, because that's the type of music she makes sometimes.
What?
That's what she's like most known for, is music like this guy sucks, fuck him. He's shit. He ain't shit. You know, and I love the music that she makes, but I feel like I think that we would make a banger together. A dream collab has always been Snow the Product.
You do like Snow, don't you?
Oh my god, she's the reason I got into music.
Yeah, I mean, Snow is a great rapper. I don't blame. I haven't listened to her in a while, but I did listen to her back in the day, and she was cold back then too.
Oh, she's the reason that I found out. It's not that I like found out that I could rap fast. I was just rapping along, and I had a car full of people just staring at me. They're like, "Where the fuck did that come from?" I was like, "I don't know. That's just you can't do that." No, I can't do that. That sucks to suck then.
Sucks to suck.
But Snow's a dream collab. Ashniko's a dream collab.
What about Creed?
So many. I don't think so.
Creed a dream collab for you?
He's like, nah.
I'm not a dad rock type.
Creed. It's funny.
Within the community, I'd say like Arlo's a good one. Arlo's a really good. I can't wait to see what we come up with. I don't think there's too many people in the community that I haven't really talked about, like not working
when it comes
with.
to collabing and stuff.
Yeah.
Would anybody do a song with Jack Black?
Wait, what?
That's what Chaos wants to know. Would anybody do a song with Jack Black?
I wouldn't, honestly.
I wouldn't, just because I don't think that we'd come to an agreement on sound.
Right,
I don't
exactly.
know I think that
me and him was
my
really
style
like
would mesh. Yeah, we wouldn't mesh too well.
It wouldn't work. He's like in a way different field than me. I don't think it would work well. Fucking Jack Black. He's gonna have Jack Black bring like his little toy saxophone or something.
I would love to, if I got the opportunity to collaborate with the likes of like Ninja Sex Party. They make meme music, like they make like joke music, but their Under the Covers album, where they cover like 80s music, is fire. Like it's done so well, and you can tell there's a high level of respect going into it, that they're not going to treat the music that they're covering like their original songs. There's a huge level of respect there, and I would love to be able to collaborate with them with Danny in that light.
Q said fucking Weird Al. What the hell?
He said she'd collab with Weird Al. I haven't heard Weird Al's name in a while.
Not you saying that right as
So
I was watching
long.
Game Grumps. Absolutely, I'd love to
Weird
work
Al
with Dan.
Yankovic.
I would work with I don't know if anybody knows The Boys, the YouTube group, not the Amazon Prime group, not the Amazon Prime show.
Not the Amazon Prime
There's
group.
a YouTube group called The Boys, and Eddie is an incredible rapper, and he also speaks Spanish. And I wouldn't be opposed to letting him throw down a feature. I'd love to work with him. I don't know what that would look like, but
Chaos. Imagine Homelander in a band. Yeah. He would get mad after one note and then he'd just start lasering everybody.
I want to collab with Nick Howard and
Homeland's gonna kill you.
N7. Let's make it happen. Let's go, chat. Nick Howard's voice on one of my tracks. Come on. Let's make it happen. Wouldn't that be sick? No, I guess not.
Oh, yeah.
Dope as hell.
Oh, okay.
Having Nick Howard's like no narration on your music, kind of like Bootsy Collins or something like that.
Well,
oh my
we're
god,
running a little late in the show. I think it's a good time here to call it a wrap and right over to another homie. If you guys are good,
I'm down for
covered
it.
everything.
Yeah,
right?
we're like almost 3.5 hours is. So.
Yeah, yep. I got to go to bed so I can go to work, and I haven't eaten yet. So
Yeah.
we'll wrap up stream and
Yes, I'm
we'll
hungry.
wait up to somebody. So Frick,
Well, I had a face full of snacks.
yeah, I'll
I think
have.
Tino is live right now. Actually,
That's
from
where
around.
that's where we're going. That's where we're going.
Yeah.
Yoltz, feel free to shout out your links, put them in the chat, tell people where they can find you. And thanks for being on the show.
You told me I had to have them ready. Oh shit!
Food and
All right,
sleep stat. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, chaos gets me. Chaos.
Legas.
I'll be a little more interactive with chat and stuff like that on a typical stream. I let the guests and co-hosts take the spotlight on these. It's you guys always get to hear me talk. It's nice to hear everybody else's.
I know you talk too much. Like, chill out.
I do talk a lot. I do talk a lot.
Eyes does talk a lot, but I appreciate that. So this is the.
Right.
I mean, this is my latest release on Spotify. If y'all could go check that out, and some feedback is always greatly appreciated. I'll throw my second channel in there also, so you guys can go.
Yoltz right there at that link as well. I don't know how often you'll be streaming compared to YouTube content, but
I'm gonna try to make it a healthy mix. This is the second channel that I'm going to. This is the second channel this is the second channel that I'm gonna be posting all of like my backup random crap to. More personality things. This is my main YouTube channel where all the music stuff goes. Subscribing is greatly appreciated, but never necessary. But I look forward to working on projects. I'm hopefully, I think I'm going to shoot about 3 or 4 videos tomorrow so I can edit them while I'm out of town over the weekend and try to get some of them out. And I'm going to work on some of these songs. If that Spotify link that I sent, I think that's my artist link. If Self-Destruct hits 1,000, I'll drop Tsunami the same way I dropped Self-Destruct, and I'll be working on the music video for Birthday Party here in a minute. And I'll get that chopped up. And then I'm also, while I'm out of town, shooting the music video for Drunk Again. So there'll be 2 music videos and there's a lot of music coming. I have a lot of music on my plate and a lot of new videos coming up. Yeah. So there's a lot of projects that you can find me in a lot of different places. And on Twitch here, I don't plan on streaming as often. I'm still going to try to stream once a week, and it might just be editing sessions. But I'm gonna try to make it a point to come back to Twitch once a week and at least try to work on some music or play some games that just don't do well on. There's a lot of things there's a lot of games that I would rather stream than record, and a lot of games I'd rather record than stream. So
Right.
You'll find me hopefully once a week on Twitch, maybe more, maybe less. I'm not sure, but those are the main places you can find me, and I use my socials rarely because I'm bad at this. I gotta get back into TikTok. I gotta get some clips to throw on my TikTok.
I've been making reels and it's been fun doing that. So
I love making reels, but
kind of fun.
Yeah.
Prominent. Put your links in chat, brother.
Yes. Oh God, I gotta do this too. Okay.
Or just tell people where they can find you. I just gave you a shout out as well. Guys, go ahead and follow.
Well, first of all, I appreciate the shout out, Eyes, of course. You guys can find me here on Twitch, of course. Twitch.tv/theprominentbeg, where you can sit there and watch me stream my show called The Jazz Lounge Journey, which is my show full of jazz jams. That's talking with the chat, making music, and just performing mostly. Just having a great time. You can also find me on pretty much all my socials, except Facebook. I don't have Facebook. But you can find everything else under the same at The Prominent BEG.
I like Facebook because when you post to Instagram, it posts to Facebook at the same time if you connect them.
Oh,
why did Facebook like years ago?
Facebook.
I got rid of Facebook a long time ago.
Well, see, I have my personal Facebook that I shit post on, and then I have my main Facebook page that I use to promote like music and such.
Yeah.
And I forgot that I was logged into main the other day, and I started shit posting on the Yoltzin account. So I had to go backtrack and delete all of those posts.
Great.
No, but it's cool. But I saved the post in the other tab. Like I pulled all the links. I went back on my personal page and I shared all of those. So I still got my shit posting quota in for the day.
Beautiful. And I am Eyes. I'm a musician. I stream Wednesday through Sunday on this platform. I have a new song coming out with Fat Loud called Misleading. There's merch for it. And if you're a sub, you get discounts. So reach out to me in Discord if you're interested in any of that. Check out the music link that I just posted to hear the song. Please pre-save it on Spotify if you don't mind. It's great. And my socials are here. The most important one to me is Spotify, so if you don't mind, give me a follow on there and support the music. And yes, I give permission to other streamers to use the music in your streams if you want. So if you use it, thank you very much. And if Twitch gives you an issue, just point them my direction. I will cover that. So thank you.
Twitch gives you an issue, just point their middle finger at them. That's what you gotta do.
That's right. That's right. And thank you for the support. Thank you everybody for following.
Joining raggedy bitch.
Joining in on the show. It's been.
I'll get you bit. No.
Let's get we'll get a raid message going. We're gonna go to Tino. We got the wrist raid.
Yeah, Tino.
And the Insta raid for anybody who is a follower. So
Go to Spotify and follow us all, because me seeing that number goes up makes me happy.
Yeah, it's
I have a goal. I wanna hit 100 by the end of the year, and at the rate that I'm going, especially with the promotion, I think that's doable.
Yeah, that's
I think it's a
for
nice
sure.
that's
sure.
actually a
For
kind of a
sure.
good goal. I'm at about 90 right now, and anybody who else follows, I appreciate the help there. So, and
I'm at
hopefully you
I'm at
enjoy the music
59.
and share the music with your friends, please. It'd be great. And let's get the
Here with the
raid
hot
message
little
going.
wrist raid.
That's
What
right.
wrist?
And thank you guys for
La
sticking
la la la
through
la.
with the raid as well. I appreciate it. And let's everybody say toodles. Bye. God bless everybody. Thanks for being on the
Toodles.
stream. I'll be live tomorrow again, 5 o'clock.
Appreciate all y'all with the coming through the podcast.
That's
Gonna see
right.
us again next month with another special episode.
That's right. Yoltz, thank you
I'm
for
looking
being
forward
on
to
here.
I'm looking forward to the in-person episode after I move.
Thank you for.
can't
I
wait.
know that's the move. I can't wait to have you back on here if you're willing.
Yeah,
if
I
you're
can't
willing,
wait
of course.
to come
Okay.
back. Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a blast.
Thank you for
It's an
being
honor to
here
be
and for creating
on here
good
and having a
topics of
place to talk
conversation.
shit. Yeah.
Right.
We'll see you guys later. Take it easy and enjoy the show over at Tiptoe Tino's. Doodles. Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Anti-Perfectionist podcast. I hope that you enjoyed the show. If you did, go ahead and leave a comment down below and tell me what you thought about it. Also, let me know whom you would like to see in the next episode. The links for the hosts and the guest are in the description below, so feel free to check out those and look at my social links as well. Go ahead and hit like, subscribe, and share the show with your friends. I appreciate your time, and thank you for watching.